everybody, welcome back to Go Card Reviews. We are back with part 2 of this Circus 20th Anniversary Retrospective. So, like we said before, we're looking at this here in June 2021, so opinions we have are based on what we think of the cards at this current moment, not when they first released back last year.
And this time we have a special guest. You might remember him from our ban list videos. Welcome back, Mike.
Yep. Definitely glad to have you back here. So, Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell the audience about your experience with this particular title.
Lyrical magical. I'll do my best. I've been playing the Capo decks since pretty much like right after I started playing Weiss. Years and years back, and I really enjoyed when Circus 20 came out because I feel like it added a bunch to like the couple of already like pretty okay decks, as well as the extra cards for like the meme decks that came around too.
For sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, a couple weeks ago, I won a locals tournament playing a Tsukunomi deck. Like it was totally silly.
Let's go. That way, like,
but yeah,
oh no, sorry. I'll let you continue.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, I also appreciated that it gave a lot of options, this set, obviously, and even with its own Circus 20 build, right?
For sure. Like Gavin here is most familiar with the Circus standalone build in particular. I have experience mainly with the newspaper build because when I first started playing, I was like one of the mega decks.
Yep. I love the old newspaper deck. I don't even know what to do with the newspaper deck anymore. They're like, I don't feel like it got a lot in this set.
It really didn't. Like, we're going to make a good chunk. We're going to make a fair chunk of it here in green. We're going to see a ton more of it in red. But overall, it's kind of like, well, it's like no real motivation to like play newspaper over like even Magic or something.
Yeah, I feel like Magic got the most support in this set overall. I mean, Magic got so many different level ones. It got like I think a couple brainstorms. Like overall, I think
Magic got a ton, but like just the fact that like everything can like mesh together now.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to worry so much about trait in the same way you used to have to.
Right. Well, as Gavin and I were talking about back in Yelling when you were not here, Mike, was that Circus 20th Anniversary kind of did like the best of both worlds. It took like it said like, hey, you can make a pretty good standalone good deck just based off this one product, kind of like how SEO 10th Anniversary was like strictly that philosophy.
Yeah.
While also offering legacy support to all of the specialized decks from that we got in previous products, including like Dal Segno and like the the faction decks that we've had from the Capo 1, the Capo 2, the Capo 3, the Capo 4.
Dude, Royalty is almost even playable now, which is crazy because it shouldn't be. And it's really not, but it's almost. It's almost playable.
And Key 20th Anniversary was it did a good job at giving legacy support, but a terrible job at giving us like a standalone deck. But
yeah,
Circus combines the two philosophies, and I think that's what makes it a very solid product.
Yeah, and I feel like that was they sort of realized what they were doing there, and it's R&D, so they only know so much, when they put out a product. They put out the SAO 10th, and I'm sure there were a lot of complaints that none of the legacy stuff worked with the legacy decks, right? Then like two or three cards are playable, right, in those decks. Then they put out Key 20, and it made Charlotte almost a playable deck. Charlotte's actually a really good deck. It's just I feel like it's really hard to build properly. And it gave Angel Beats a lot of extra momentum that it needed from the 4 or 5 years that it hadn't seen a single card outside of a PR, right? But the overall the set as a whole didn't feel very consistent.
The fact that you couldn't build anything, if you're like a newer player, the fact is you probably don't have anything of the neo standard titles that Key was meant for, so it really wasn't favorable to newer players.
Yeah. Like I feel like half the cards are unplayable outside of their own specific legacy decks. Like, what are you going to do with those rewrite cards, right?
600 Smackarenas later, boys.
Yep.
Right, but anyway, that all being said, shall we go ahead and get underway with all of these cards here?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
All right, so I will begin with none other than Christmas in Love, Kotori and Yume. So we start with the Capo 1 cards first. So 2-1,
Yeah.
2500 anniversary music magic. So it's a 2500 punch that's also a sack counter, anti-change sack counter.
I feel like this is exactly what a lot of the old Da Capo decks needed, so they didn't have to play that off trait, off color, any of the off trait, off color versions of this, that or the close to versions of this, I guess. They weren't exact, right?
For sure.
Mhm.
We had one in like banana, I think, in
Yeah,
red.
I think it was a banana one.
And there was, I believe there was a Dal Segno one in blue, right?
Yeah,
Mhm,
Dal Segno
mhm.
had one.
Yeah. So I mean, this is music and magic. Like, okay, cool, perfect. The two big decks and its anniversary, right?
Right.
Now, of course, if you look at a lot of modern lists nowadays, a lot of players are starting to cut these cards from their decks. I'm going, why?
Yeah, I feel like if you play one of this card in one of these cards in your decks, it puts enough pressure on your opponent that they know that they have to sort of play around something, right? They can't just drop one early play and hope that it like they can, but then they have to side attack. So it's like it gives them less option against you, and you get to put more pressure on them. Because yeah, that's a lot of stock and resources to use, but it's essentially 3 stock, sack a card, anti-damage.
Yeah,
Right.
Quite good.
I would say this, to like both of you, is that, I've been talking with some players, like, on and off about, like, just like as a quick off note, like, of, spending 3 stock and 2 cards to anti-damage, anti-change an opposing card, or saving that 3 stock and 2 cards to give yourself a better top end.
Sure. Yeah, I suppose it depends on where you're at, right? Like where you are in the game and where you are in your resources. If you've got just a ton of stock for no reason, right? And maybe some of it might be dirty, even. Right.
No,
Like I feel like
I think, in general, in the couple, like, while you're not sending as many cards to memory as, say, the old slime deck pre-Sec 2 or pre-ban Psychono, you're still putting in some resources to get, like, your 4 to 6 in memory still. So some people are definitely hesitant as a result.
Again, I feel like having one in your arsenal as essentially a backup, right? Like if nothing more, sometimes that one stock 2500 punch gets you over on something, right? I know there's not a lot that requires reverse targets for things these days, but sometimes there are, and it can get you out of a bad spot in that. If you're playing against it's always like when I used to play in the Magic circuit, you'd thrash a lot of people playing newcomer rogue decks, and then you'd sit across from somebody playing 5-color Cascade, and they'd blow you out for no reason, right? So when you sit across from somebody playing Legacy Bang Dream with Yukina in it, and you have nothing you can do against that stupid card, right? This at least it might help you, maybe. I mean, granted, they probably have Bride for a Day too, but if they're just playing like a Roselia deck, right?
It gives you the out.
Right.
Yeah.
Even with Bride for a Day, Saya, that's only one lane.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I was this past weekend I was playing around with Kami-sama decks, and I was using that level 3 Yuta that is essentially similar to
Right.
Yeah, I got to blow somebody out in one game with it because it was just, right. Yeah, I mean, so there are still some cards that require a reverse, and again, like sometimes that 2500 punch, it'll save a character that you don't want dead. Maybe.
For sure.
I don't know.
Maybe. And honestly speaking, I think these kinds of cards are underrated where they used to be like essential staples.
Right.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I'll call it what it is. If you're trying to play the music deck, you probably need this card. The music deck I don't feel is terribly strong.
No.
It's okay. It's not. I don't know. It's good. I like it. I didn't feel it was nearly as strong as the anniversary or the Magic decks. So I mean, we'll call it at that.
Fair enough.
I feel like it's the music deck in and of itself is about as strong as the Dal Segno deck, which is strong, right? But not the Magic or anniversary, because it didn't get as much, and it probably needed more. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a bad player, which is a good possibility too.
Don't worry about that. We wouldn't really have you here if we got that of you, right?
But honestly speaking, though, like we've been saying, keeping this as a one-off tech option,
Yeah.
I think is near essential. So honestly speaking, though, okay, so gentlemen, gentlemen, this is an uncommon, so easy to find and limited, boys.
Right, I know.
I mean,
Chances are you're not going to use it for the Yankee Kings because LOL was really an early play in limited, but solid 2,500 punch, that's easy to find. You can't go wrong with that, right?
good color, good trades.
Right.
So honestly speaking, I'll start us off playable.
Playable, yeah. I agree here. You can't go wrong with a card like this.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, again, to be honest, and then I told you guys before going in, I have like no experience with any ideas about tech on playing in a limited Weiss Spectrum. But if I were trying to run a limited game, yeah, I would. If I found this card, yeah, that's a 2,500 backup. Fine, that's usable, playable for sure.
Alrighty.
Right, let's go.
Alrighty, gentlemen. I'll read the next card here. Okay, the dream I had, Yume. 3-2. Oh, it's only a 2K? Okay. So, assist all of you guys in front of this card gain 2,000 power, and it's a memory kick. It also heals you, and it has, let's see here. You may discard a card, you may discard a copy of this, tap it to bounce one of your opponent's guys.
Yeah, I feel like the third effect on this isn't terribly relevant because you probably, if you're running this card, I can't imagine running more than 2 of it
Right.
in a deck.
Right, but
Right?
But the first 2 sentences are already pretty decent.
Yeah, it's not a bad card. I've had a hard time finding room for it in
Right.
secondary.
That's what I've noticed. Like this is a card like a lot of decks would definitely appreciate, but the problem is in the Capo, Dal Segno specifically. It's kind of like I want to play this, I can't find the space. Like this is something that Gavin and I discussed last episode where we're just like, there's a lot of good cards that Circus 25 Anniversary can offer, but we're like, we just lack the space.
Yeah, if you were making a secondary anniversary Magic deck, something like that, because you were bored. This is like you can run a couple of these in there. You could fit them. I know I probably built like 10 or 11 Capo decks when this set came out because I was so excited to bust out all my old stupid cards.
I don't blame. If I had like a set, if I played a title as long as like the Capo and this kind of thing came up, I totally feel you.
Yeah, but like I can't imagine
like that's low key me with Bang Dreaming English.
Yeah. I mean, it's a card. In my opinion, it's a better version of the Shirabe, except it doesn't early play, right? That's the big difference on that.
Right.
I don't know.
At the same time, okay. The first 2 sentences, okay, pretty good. The last one,
Yeah.
Okay, running this as a support, okay. One's already down, and I don't want to run like 3 or 4 copies to make that balance consistent. I really wouldn't.
No.
I can't imagine running more than 2 of this. I might it might be like a Tech 1 card. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah, I cannot imagine running more than 2 of this thing though.
For sure, but at the same time, the fact that this already gets quite a lot for just being like a one-off at the same time. In a nutshell.
Sure. Absolutely. I feel like, yeah. I mean, when we're discussing like limited, I feel like it has a higher capability there. To be honest with you.
Well, okay. So going into limited, this is a double rare, so this could be hard to find.
If you're chances are you only find the 1 copy. You use it a second. That means you found the foil. But at that point, as we will say, go check your Powerball ticket.
Right. I don't know. I feel like again, if you find this in limited, you definitely like try to force it in, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
In fact, this might persuade me to splash screen minimum.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
I agree. I know. As we go to grade, we're gonna see that gray's quite a solid color in general.
So
yeah, it really is. It really is.
I'm gonna have to give Yume here the solid playable, despite her not being in my deck personally. I'm going. You know what? If I had the room, like I said last episode, Bushy, sideboard when.
Yeah, yeah, I could see the argument. Like, I will also say playable just because, like, if you could make the argument to like fit this in, you'll definitely feel her impact.
Yeah, I'll 100% say she's playable. She's not, not the card that I would go to first, but if I had no other options, if I was on a budget, if I was limited, 100%, like again, 100% of the time, if I find this in limited, I'm playing it.
Oh yeah,
Probably, right?
definitely.
Yeah.
Let's
All right.
actually let's take a look how much she actually costs.
Oh yeah,
Real
yeah,
quick.
for sure. So okay,
She's
look at our little market guide here.
so you tell you like we'll pay you to take her half the time.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine this card being more than like $2-3.
No, I can't imagine it being more than $1.
$1.50.
There you go.
Man.
The
Double R.
The Japanese astound me. They value it higher than I do.
Damn.
Right.
All right, Mike. Why don't you go ahead and give us this next one here?
All right. Nestle that Dusk Yume. So there's something special with this one though. It's a recollection. If you have, 2 or more cards in your memory, gets the 2,000 power, which is not difficult to do, right, in the set. So she's pretty easy to have her sit at a 6K. If nothing more, you run the old runner, right? You can easily put those in. Because she's on magic trait, so she's pretty easy with everything. When it attacks, if Welcome Back is in your climax area and you have 2 or more other characters, choose one level X or lower character in your waiting room and add it to your hand, where X is the number of Welcome Back in your waiting room. Now, this card has a legacy component to it, I believe, right?
It was like older.
This is the one where Welcome Back. Yeah, Welcome Back. But all right, I know this sounds silly, but I'm a jerk and like to meme decks. The Welcome Back that it can run with also is, I believe, a red 2-soul.
Oh. What was it like? You want me to go and fact check this really quick?
Yeah, I think it's a red 2-soul. I really do.
Let me
I have this in a deck somewhere, and I think the card is a red 2-soul.
So let's see. Let's go ahead and go quickly check here. So we're looking for Okaigiga site.
Let me see if I can beat you to it.
No, I found it. Yep, it is a red
Found it.
2-soul.
Yes! And so, that I feel adds power to this card. Yeah, I know you got to be in 2 colors at level 1. So do half, I don't know. I mean, so do half my old decks. So that doesn't feel like an issue to me because there's a lot of good red support, right? I think, and I know the gold bar makes this more consistent to get at level 1, but I feel like 2-souls just give me so much reach sometimes. And I know that's silly and like just meme plus 2-soul side attack, whatever. But like, let's say you didn't get those 2 cards into memory and you're sitting back on a 4K over here, right? And your opponent hits level 1 before you do. That 2-soul makes it so that you actually might pin some damage while also, doing your thing here. I don't know. And at least it always salvages for something, because even if you have 0 of the climax in your waiting room, you still get something because that's a level 0, right?
Yep, that's a level 0, and there are really good level 0s in this set. Not gonna lie.
Oh,
and in green and in magic.
For sure.
I like this card probably a lot more than I should like this card.
I don't blame you. I mean, like when you speak about like the plus 2-soul shenanigans.
Yeah, and like that. Like I said, I built a deck to it, and I could have sworn it was there's a 2-soul with that deck. Yeah,
right. Yeah. As we like go through this, like while there are cards that will refer back to old cards, so like older versions of climaxes or old cards, period. They're not necessary to play these cards, period. That's why we're doing limited. If the fact that like these cards could be played without the old stuff makes this like even more appealing, especially for newer players who are curious, or returning players who are like, I got rid of like the couple stuff back in like 2016 or something.
Yeah, and the gold bar definitely makes it more consistent. So I understand that.
Right.
Especially for newer players, it's a free plus, right? That's at the end of the day, this is a free plus in climax that it as long as you have 2 cards in memory, which is easy in this set, is very defendable. you know?
Oh yeah.
Right.
So, like, I don't know.
And whacking for 7K with the gold bar is nothing. You know, it's not exactly a joke in some cases.
No, it's definitely not like that. Like I always, and I know I've talked about this before. I always feel like 7.5 is the magic number, but it's not difficult to give this thing 500 power,
No.
right?
No,
Like
there's
an extra 500 power.
there's a particular level 0 that's a global 5 that we'll look at later on. And even still, that's the reason why I invited Mike onto the show, because I don't think either one of us could have thought of the two soul. Like I sure as hell didn't know about it. Not sure about my co-host here.
I'm old. I'm old.
It was more of this. It was more of, you know, I was thinking about it, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to remain consistent with the episodes. I'll just simply not mention it existed since I messed up on that the first time.
Well, again,
Because we hacked the Rika and the With You. That was also a door from a previous set.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now there were some definitely interesting cards, like in yellow, especially. And I know yellow was the last set that the last one that you did. Like
Right.
where they
Well,
bounced
like
off
if
of
anything, like
different
if
things.
a card has like any mentions, if there's like something that if there's something like in passing, you know, we'll mention it.
Yeah. Again, I just feel like if you're playing it from the perspective of this set solely, the gold bar is definitely a solid play. If you're playing it from the perspective of you have the option to get your hands on things and you like two soul decks, it gives you some reach. I happen to like two soul decks. You know, I'm a jerk. I meme. Like one of my favorite decks is like a Nanoha Vita waifu deck because it runs like seven or eight
Fair,
two souls.
fair
But
enough, fair
yeah,
enough.
you know, so I played back when people were slamming silicas and two souls at me. So I respect the two soul.
Gotcha.
I mean, the fact that this also can combo with the two soul. You know, I was gonna grade this strictly on just climax combo with bar, but now that we brought up the two soul, that kind of changes my perspective quite a bit.
Yeah.
And
That's the thing with like Circus. You know, the fact that it can interact with like cards from like the beginning of the darn game.
Oh yeah. It's but like most of and when we get to red, you'll see like all the banana cards, right? They're pointless until like I have a really fun banana deck because like that's my girl. But
For sure.
you know.
now moving. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that particular character is the background of my laptop. But
Okay.
Now going to limited. Okay, can somebody please explain to me why the climax here is a climax rare? That's gonna be kind of difficult.
I'm
to find.
pretty sure the only reason is that it's also like a legacy. Part of the reason is probably legacy climax is part of the reason.
Yeah, and I don't remember what the other card does that combos with the two soul. I don't think I ever used it. I just happen to have that card laying around, the two soul laying around. But yeah, like if you were playing the other silly card, the gold bar climax is probably way better.
Right.
All right.
But,
and of course, this being rare, it's not going to be too bad.
Right,
yeah,
you promise really more finding the climax than the actual card here, but hey, even if you just pull this regularly, it's a 106k beater. Probably.
Yeah.
That's not terrible at all.
Yeah, I feel like this is definitely more than playable in the eyes of a limited spectrum. I don't know.
Now,
For sure.
of course, going with ratings here, you know what? Playable. Mike, you actually bumped the rating up for me in this case.
Yeah, no, I could agree here. Like the fact that this could go with two different kinds of climaxes for the damage reach that you want. Versus you want consistency versus damage reach. I definitely like that choice. And it's not shabby as a standalone 6k bigger and limited. So yeah, playable.
I would put it so for me again, just because I like running, I like running cards like this, and I really, really like free pluses. So I would probably rate it like one notch up on playable. Like,
Alright, so the playable plus here.
Yeah,
he's going all the way here. All right.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
I again, you want to build the deck around it, right? But if you build the deck around it, it's a lot of fun. I have the deck somewhere. I've only gotten to play it a couple times.
All right, for sure. All right, so next up is a little package. So myself and Gary will do this back to back here, and then we'll talk about them as a pair and also separately.
Yeah.
Right, so we have Blessing to the Family, you made 00500. At the beginning of your climate race, if you have a treasure that shines like a cherry blossom rogue Sakura, card number 9, choose one of your anniversary or magic characters and engage power plus 1000 until end of turn. And she is a self-tap brainstorm that lets you, as we call this, Diglett for each climate revealed this way.
Alrighty, and a treasure that shines on the cherry blossom rogue Sakura, 1500. This is a global 5, and of course, you may discard the brainstorm that we just looked at and tap this to draw a card.
I feel like this stuff is really good value if you want to build the decks around it for fun. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I definitely see it's more as being for fun cards. Because, we're talking against, like, events and climax shenanigans, I guess, right?
Yeah, like if you're really excited about playing like a bunch of Sakura cards in a deck, right? like,
Or the two together, I suppose.
It's not necessarily terrible, but it's not necessarily amazing either. Really depends on how much you value the Dig 3 Take 1.
Yeah,
brainstorm. Right. I would argue the main reason to play something like that is like because you're playing like events or something.
Yeah, and even then, like the decks that want to run those events probably are running different things anyway, right? They probably don't want to be running.
Right.
I feel like to get the maximum value out of these cards, you probably have to be running like 4 of each, or like 4 of the brainstorm, 3 of the Sakura, right?
Yeah, that is a lot of space.
Yeah, that's a lot of space in a deck with
even you
way
try to go
better
like
stuff.
3/3, that's no 6.
Yeah, that's a lot of space in a deck that doesn't. I don't feel like any of the Capo decks have a lot of room to play with.
Oh no! That's like something that's something we brought up. Last the first time for Yellow, we just the fact that the Capo is at this point like a 1200 card title or something like that, and you only could fit in 50 cards.
Yeah.
And just a side note, where was this? Where was this in God? We could have used this in God, man.
To be fair, Gavin, we had Sun God Yocha.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
I don't know. That set feels so stacked already. and I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but I don't see what I would consider enough hype behind that set. But that's a conversation for a different day.
Yeah. For sure. But anyway, guess this package can say limited people. So they're both Suckers are rare, and Yume's uncommon.
In a limited capacity, I feel like the Yume is way better.
Mm-hmm.
Way better. I'll take a generic brainstorm that
right.
And
Unless you like go deep, you hit on first day, you're going deep quite a bit. Exiting that first deck, it's just valuable. Period. Especially in limited,
Especially even more so in limited, in my opinion. And if you manage to pull the Sakura, you're now winning lanes in limited, at least one of them.
Yeah, exactly. If
you get luck stack into a Sakura, then you may pop up like later on. They're like, okay, cool. We're gonna like make Huig. We're gonna make like Huig board. Huig-ish.
Yeah.
A little bulk doesn't hurt in limited.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that in the limited capacity, Yume is playable, and Sakura probably is not unless you have Yume.
Oh yeah, for sure. So okay, let's go on to Reagan's now again.
Get this girl the playable minus. Thanks, limited.
Yeah, I could definitely see the argument for Yume being a playable minus as well. Like she's a lower rarity brainstorm that also goes deep, and if you somehow sack into the Sakura on top of that, you get like buffering here and there.
All right, so I'm going to say that if you have built your deck around events and you're just really event happy, or if you love brainstorms like me, because I still run 4 brainstorms in most of my decks, I would say this card is playable. I don't think the other card is.
Okay, so you think this card is solid playable regardless for the most part.
Yeah, like even as a one of, maybe if you just want a different kind of brainstorm. Like,
Okay,
I don't know if that makes sense.
that's fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, again,
I
with
value brainstorms.
you know,
Yeah.
that's perfectly fine. It's actually better if we could have different opinions in general here. Some things you just have no just to agree on, but there are times where you just be like, no, I got dissent away from y'all.
For sure, for sure.
Anyway,
Give something to the niche.
yeah, like she's not unplayable or anything like that, but she's really meant for like her own deck in constructed, or if you pull this off, you pull like the pairing together, then sure you could like do some pretty funny things in limited.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that analysis,
All right.
that assessment. Yeah,
All right.
I'm just like even in limit, I'm going. Find the brainstorm first, then we're talking.
Yeah,
Right,
I mean,
right,
a
right.
five-
Don't chances
I-
are you're finding a brainstorm before you find this anyway, right?
yeah.
Like,
if I find-
Like, if anything, Socrates one of those cards that you hate draft more than anything. You're going to hate
Yeah.
draft the person who's going to try to pull that off on you.
Exactly.
I don't know if you two agree with that, but
I'm not really that big on hate drafting.
fair
Yeah,
enough.
I mean, I
Fair enough.
don't-
Fair enough.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
All right. Well, Mike, why don't you go ahead and take us away over on this card?
All right. Session after a long absence, Nanika. A card that I do play. She's a level 02K. She's anniversary and music. That's the deck I run her in. When this
yes.
card is put to the stage from your hand, it gets 1500 power at the end of the turn, making her 35 for a turn. And pay one, discard one. When it's placed the stage from hand, you may pay the cost if you do search your deck for a character with no traits or anniversary, music, or play character, reveal it and add it to your hand and shuffle your deck. So it is a drop search that is 3,500 on the power on the turn that you play it, and it can hit not only the stuff from this set, but a couple other legacy decks.
Right. I go into no traits, and I'm like, yeah, I can remember some characters in the Capo 1 or something with no traits.
Yeah, old Capo 1 and 2 definitely had some no traits characters. I can't remember. There's like one character specifically that pops up occasionally that's no traits.
It's like one of the male characters, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
It's typically a male character. Key. Little Buster Stick this too.
Yeah. It's not Suganomi though, because that boy is a cult. But
Right.
But yeah, no.
Right.
This card, I don't know. I think this card is playable in just about it. Like, it's definitely a playable card in any anniversary deck, right? It's a drop search. That's like
you can't go
good
wrong.
for a
I think the
turn.
biggest problem that I have with this, Red introduces us to something that does this pay one, drop one toolboxing deal while also enabling our recollection shenanigans.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I
we are thinking about the card and the greater context here.
Sure. I think if you're trying to run the music deck, I think this card is almost like mandatory because there's like nothing else that does.
Right. Yeah. Music was on a struggle bus prior to this. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it also allows you to do silly things, which are like total hand fix annoyance stuff in music, where like you drop search for your clock bomb that grabs your event out of the waiting room. Silly stuff like
Right. For sure.
silly stuff like that. Like, I don't know. And again, if you're running characters with play, right? That's a different.
So Gavin, just wondering, as like a question, since you started playing the Capo Dal Segno yourself very recently as a result of Circus 20th anniversary, did this card ever pop into consideration at all for you?
Actually, it did at one point, but I was thinking to myself here, okay, it's a 0035, so again, it ties with Crimson Demon Genius. It kind of meets that magical ground without actually having to, meet any form of stock requirements. Of course, it's one turn only, but again, you kind of have to deal with it at times. And of course, it is a drop search. You can't really go wrong with it. But unfortunately, when I first built the deck, that certain red card
Yeah.
really changed my tune on it. Now, of course, Nanika is most useful in first deck, is when you're most likely to play either card. So, honestly speaking, if you want to get out of first deck ASAP, Nanika's a better deck better card than the red equivalent. But at the same time, it really depends on what you're playing here.
For sure.
Honestly speaking, though, I did consider Nanaka. She's a great green splash, but unfortunately, like we've been saying, the Capo decks, especially after Circus 20th anniversary, oh my god. You know, it's harder for me to find one space than to fill a space, than to fill the entire deck pretty much.
I totally get it. Alright, so let's go to limited. Yo, why not?
It's an uncommon. It's a beater.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of the drop searchers are like, all right. So again, if looking at things from a limited capacity, which I don't typically do, but in this particular case, we're going for it. I feel like drop searchers are like the best thing you can have. They're literally a second copy of any card that you want.
Right.
Like,
Right,
and this one's a 3,500. And this one's a 3,500 power 0, so it's also a beater for a turn. And I mean, realistically, like, level 0s get ran over after they're out for a turn, maybe 2 anyway, unless they're like runners or,
Right.
whatever else, right? Yeah, I don't know. I think
even
in
with
limited
runners,
capacity,
some people go like, trifle unga bunga, right? Here and there.
yeah, exactly. I feel like in a limited capacity, this card's kind of bonkers. But that's
for
just
sure,
me.
for sure. No, I don't. No, I don't blame you. It's also a pretty low rarity, uncommon.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like for an uncommon, yeah. I mean, come on, Card Captor Sakura English edition had to wait for it on a PR.
What? This is a promo?
It's a worse version of it is, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, it's even worse than Nanaka. Holy shit.
Yeah, it really is.
It's just a generic drop search, but again, different set. But yeah, like some sets would kill for a drop searcher. Some old sets, even
Right.
some newer ones that didn't get one, like
for
would be
whatever
happy to
for
have
whatever
one.
for whatever strange reason.
Yeah, right. This set got a couple of them, and I think if you're either trying to run green heavy or you're trying to run, again, the music deck, which is what I threw this card in. Like, I think this card's really good for what it is. It's in the capacity of what you're playing it with, I guess.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, so ratings.
Playable.
Yeah, no, I like despite like the problems with like text space, you can't go wrong with considering this card in the first place.
This set's power level is so bloody pushed.
Oh, it
really is.
It really is.
Like I said, it might just be because of like my views on, again, the fact that it added a lot. This is going to sound awful because it's just a drop searcher, right? It added a lot to the music deck, so I would call this playable plus.
Okay, fair enough.
In the context of that,
Fair enough. That's why we invited you on, man.
Right. All right, well, let's move on here. So this is gonna be like an example of a card that so this next card is gonna refer to like a card for like a very very old set, but it's not mandatory in any way whatsoever.
Yeah.
So new Scenery Akane, level 3, 2 cost 10,000 power. This anniversary only, so that probably means that any Akane cards from any old sets are probably traitless. So when she is put to the stage from your hand, or via the auto ability of Ai Hanasaki from this very old set, it's like the
Yeah,
Capo 2
a
or
million
something.
years ago.
Yeah, a billion years ago. All your characters get 3K until end of turn. One place to the stage, specifically via the auto ability of Ai Hanasaki, you may pay 1, discard 1. If you don't, this dies. And when her battle point becomes reversed, when you have a green climax active, you may pay 1, discard 1 to kick.
So this card, I feel like, is part of what that drop searcher wants to find in traitless. Sometimes, if you're running it that way, I guess.
No, this has the anniversary trait in here, so.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's anniversary trait here, but I think the girl that I can't remember what trait. You know what? She might have a trait. You might be right. I could probably be wrong on that. But yeah, this card's it's interesting.
Alright, like if you do have access to you could early play, but I believe that's a climax combo as well, so you probably don't want to do that because it's probably a gated climax design. I don't know if you remember off the top of your head what climax it is.
So that card, I don't because I never ran it, and because the other card that it like
the cost was something like two,
It's
and you gotta pay two, and like
yeah,
put this card in the waiting room on top of
it's
that.
it's it's super overcosted because I believe it puts a level 3 out at level 1, which is a heavily costed ability, right? For obvious reasons, especially if it's like a clock kick. But yeah, I don't know. I don't. Nah.
You probably gonna bother do early play on this period. Nowadays, I would think.
Yeah, like it's one of those things. I think this card in general, like I feel like this card was here in case somebody was still playing around with the old card and was like,
Right.
"Yeah, oh, this is awesome."
Right. I think they were just trying to cover as many bases as possible with some of these.
Yeah,
I don't blame them for doing that. But you just kind of what it's the 20th anniversary of the company. You gotta go ahead, like kind of go all out.
dude, it's a big set, and there is so much fire in this set. Not everything can be fire,
Right,
and
right, right.
and I do the plus side on this, all right, which is mediocre, right? Is that it is a power pump to the whole field if you need reverses, and it pumps itself, right? and
Right.
and it isn't an on reverse clock kick with any green
Right, so
climax.
you're playing like a more green top end, or if you're just playing like a green level one combo, that effectively could become like a pseudo finishing climax in a way.
Yeah, I mean, we know that clock kicks aren't a high ceiling by any means, but
They're not, but at the same time, you also just need to permanently remove something as well.
yeah, and it's uncancelable damage, right?
Right.
And so it's like this thing with let's say
I,
you're running this with the level 1 combo that we've talked about earlier. You have a gold bar. So it's a 14k gold bar, pay one, pitch one on reverse clock kick. It's not good, but it's exists, I guess. It's
right.
probably
Right.
better than
It's kind of like
yeah.
you really, really want to do it, sure, but chances are, the fact is, during the couple, they'll say, you lack check space.
Yeah. Yeah.
What room do I have for this?
I don't
Exactly.
like I said, unless I was playing the niche old deck, which is one of the only old Capo decks that I don't care about, funny enough. Like unless I'm playing the niche old deck that runs this card, and I just really, really want to run it out because like I said, it's way too overcosted anyway. Um
Right.
I'm probably it's probably better in a limited capacity than it is it just because of the clock kick
Right,
and
right.
power pump.
What around limited? Yeah, you know what? This ain't terrible limited. It's an uncommon. She power pumps, so your opponent's board's probably killing over in response, and you know, gives us extra damage that's not on a high rarity.
Yeah, if you're playing in limited, you're probably killing any level 3 that this looks at, right?
And the fact that this combos with any green
Yeah.
climax makes it so much better. And this is a good example of why we do limit on this show because it prevents cards like this from going to the incinerator almost
Right,
immediately.
Sure.
right,
Yeah,
right.
this card looks really good in a set of bicycle spokes, right? Otherwise. So
Right,
So I'm
right,
gonna
right.
so I'll give her the mercy niche here.
Yeah, I gotta do the same here.
yeah. Yeah, I can
you're building it's really meant. You're like building like more of a green heavy deck in limited, if anything.
yeah,
But
it's
a green heavy
super
deck
super
could do very well in limited as a result.
it's that's true. It's super niche playable. Super niche playable. Like
I'll assume that means overall
yeah.
initially.
Yeah, because again, it's niche playable in a limited capacity, and if you really really love the old deck.
For sure, for sure. Right, let's move on then.
Okay, loves Yuki Yume 104K. Let's see here. When your other anniversary or magic's attacks, this gains 2,000 until end of turn.
Yay?
Why?
Yeah,
Why?
why is the question indeed?
If all right,
Mike, help.
so all right, follow me on this one. All right,
Sure, let's
if
hear
you're
you out.
playing if you're playing in limited, this card is 8k on attack.
Fair
That's
enough.
That's
it's a
that's
it's a
probably
zero cost.
that's probably the formula where it's saved in. I would say.
it's a 0 cost 8K on attack if you're playing in the limited.
And
Otherwise,
it's a common, so you're probably going to see a good amount of these.
Yeah, if you see like 2 of these, then one's a 6K and one's an 8K, right? For free, and then it just gets demolished the next turn probably, or they drew into level 0s because they're playing.
Or you play them back to back. You go one turn for 8K and another turn for 8K on the second one.
Yeah, because it's going to get run over the next turn by like someone's angry level 0 that's like 5K for no reason.
Jesus Christ.
But like, yeah, I mean, outside of that, Magic has so many better cards.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, and that's the only capacity you look at this. You won't even look at this in an anniversary capacity unless it's in limited. You'd be looking at it in the Magic capacity, right?
Oh, yeah.
We already know there's better cards in anniversary.
For sure.
Like, I feel like unless you're like, man, I really want to play a Yume waifu deck, like this card is just not going to see play.
Right.
Man, not even the trash, not even the guy who's willing to play literal memes.
Yeah, like I just again.
Well, it's because the trait that she goes with, or like, as Mike was saying, Magic's already pretty buff even prior to this, especially. It just got even more. It went to the freaking gym, ran a triathlon, while also like swimming like, trying to race against Michael Phelps, and then, I'm back.
Yeah, Magic is just too good to play this card. Magic is too good to play this card. This card is, I would say again, either waifu niche, right? And I don't think people like I'm sure that there's one dude in like, somewhere not here that's running a Yume waifu deck and is really excited, right? But like it's not me. And like, yeah, it's a common. So like in a limited capacity, sure, I can understand playing it. It's a solid beater on its turn and it's free. But outside of that, no way. Like no way would you. Maybe you run it as maybe if your meta like loves to put out cards that you need to just crush the turn that they see the board. You're like, all right, cool. I'll play 1 or 2 of this, drop it down on that turn and cripple something with an 8K. But like, I don't know who's in a Weiss community that's only playing decks from 2014 and earlier, right? Like,
where do you guys play? Can I come?
Right? This can't even get over Soundless Voice. Can't get over Soundless Voice. Not worth playing. Nice to do more.
Alrighty. Thanks, Limited, and Mike. Niche this.
Yeah, like it's just because it's the lowest rarity card. It's most likely running over something in limited on a turn you player. So
yeah, it is like I said, it is only good as like a 1 or 2 of in a limited capacity, but really easy to find.
Right.
You have like 500 of these, man.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Box.
Me, because I only bought a playset.
We were talking about like you crack open a box with 300 people to play limited with.
Right. There's only a few cards in this set that I bought like extras of, but one of them is in blue, and we'll talk about that when we get there.
Okay, for sure.
There's a card in blue that I bought like 12 of.
Well, she's she has blue hair, Mike, but she's not a blue card. But we'll let you have this.
Yep. Yeah.
It's not even quite blue. Of course.
Here we go. Usual Smile Mahiru. She is anniversary and the trait that they're calling Simple Example now. I think they've translated it a few different ways a few different times.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I think they changed the name of the translation a while back. I could be wrong, but I seem to remember.
It's this company.
Yeah. Auto Recollection. When this card is put to stage from your hand, if you have 3 or more cards in your memory, you may put the top card of your deck in stock, which is very important for its effect because it's a 1/1, right? When this card becomes reversed, if the card's battle opponent has a higher level than that of your opponent, you may put the top card of your opponent's clock to the waiting room if you do put that character in your opponent's clock. I think this card is exactly everything that you could ever want in an early play field bomb. I think this card is better than almost any of the other cards of this nature that are printed, because in this deck, you are likely playing this for free.
I guess fair
And
enough.
yeah,
The biggest,
and
I think, like, while the benefit's nice, it's just more of, you're already paying stock to like enable. You probably pay like green stock to like enable that memory, right?
Maybe, yeah, depending on what memory using the memory cards that you're using. Yeah, because some of them don't require it, but some of them do, right? A lot of them do.
Most of them do.
Yeah, we'll say the majority of them do. But like, you've probably used those cards to pull yourself ahead anyway. So, when you're canceling okay because you've milled through your deck twice with this stupid deck, because it's, doable by the time you hit like 1-3, 1-4. And you've got a bunch of cards in memory already, then yeah, playing this card for free means that you're only using it's a cost to effect ratio on this card that I think makes it better than, like I said, the majority of other cards like this.
Right.
Yes,
We've been noticing, like more recently, Brewster's been trying to like quote unquote fix anti-change bombs.
Yeah, there was one that like on reverse you pay 1 or something. I don't remember, or maybe it's not. I don't remember the deal, but it's like a 1-0. Like it does the same kind of effect, but you like have to pay some kind of a cost.
Are you thinking about Shizuku Osaka from Love Live Nishikasaki?
Very possible.
Where she puts things like at the beginning of your encore step, you can put it to your stock to change to a 1-0. Some people do play the change, but you go off, but because it's Bushiro, you could purposely fail to finish the ability.
She stock charges a card from your grave, dude. She doesn't go to stock herself.
Oh,
you just sacrifice.
My bad. Yeah. She dies.
Yeah, I just feel like I said, like there's some card out there that does something similar, but either way, I feel like these days you want your level bombs to be at level 1 because, standby decks and whatnot. And
definitely.
I know standby decks, especially 8 standby, can, just constantly recur things or whatever, blah, 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 blah. This sends things to clock, so at least they can't encore them. And man, and if that standby deck isn't running hot, then they only have one stupid 2/2 on the field that they're trying to bank on, and you just eat it. Or, if they've got their early plays out, even if you can only snag one of them with this.
Like, in general, like, typically speaking, memory, recursion-based decks typically have a bit of a struggle against standby in general because, their chances are they're not beating over those 2/2s early on.
Yeah, exactly. And at the end, they do run lower stock a lot of the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this card, it's resource management. This card takes technically, as long as you have your cards in memory, which you've already had in this set, right? More than likely.
Are you playing a game, as people like to ask?
Exactly. It is one resource, because it's free to put out, so it's one card, right? To take out something that either they had to slam a climax, trigger a climax, pay extra stock, pay 2 stock, set something. They've had to set up, and you just go, cool. It's in your clock now for free for me.
Yep.
Right.
And that's why, but it only works in like 2 decks. That's the biggest drawback for this card. It works in 2 decks. It works in an anniversary deck or a deck that can, easily grab anniversary cards, right? Mm-hmm. Or it works in the deck that the simple example stuff comes from, which is a different deck. I'll talk about that some other time if you guys want me to. She typically, I think, pops herself into a chairman deck a lot of the time.
Oh, I see.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Now, of course, this is a good reason to play green. This is a pretty good reason to play green, actually.
Yeah. I agree with that assessment 100%.
We're going to see we're going to see like some, as we keep going, as we go into like the Capo 4 stuff, we're going to see like even like more reason to play like green. There's like so many good splashable green staples.
Oh yeah, green's a great color, but again, I don't think there's a bad color in this set.
I really don't blame you for thinking that. I do not blame you one bit for thinking that.
Yeah, like I think if I was like, okay, I'm going to play a mono blue deck. Okay, cool. I can easily build that. A mono red deck. Yeah, I can build that too. Like, I feel like there are so many good cards in this set. They went ham. It's a big set. And there are very few cards that I would deem unplayable. And
Right,
yeah, she
right.
like I said, she pops herself sometimes into a chairman deck. So that's why you don't see a lot of this character and a lot of the simple example stuff. Her best
Right.
card is her best card is from a reprint card from well, you'll see.
For sure, for sure, for sure.
Now, in terms of limited, honestly speaking, she loses some of her luster in limited because of the fact is number one, early plays aren't everywhere, and I don't think there's a single standby in this set. I don't remember one.
No, I don't. I
No,
don't.
you have pseudo standby
So
combos in this deck.
it's
So
not.
they didn't put standby in it.
It's not true.
It's not true standby. I know. Number
Yeah.
three. Number three. I would argue is chances are like 2 cards in memory pretty doable and limited. I don't know about 3. Like you have a kind of high roll to get that because a good chunk of your memory enablers are typically rare or higher in this set.
So this ain't free. You're going stock neutral here.
Sure,
Unless
sure.
you
I'm gonna
high
make,
roll, I believe. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Mike. I don't know if I'm correct on like most of the memory enablers being rare plus.
you're pretty much correct on that. Yeah, I'm going to argue that in a limited capacity, it is if somebody plays an early play, this card is really really good. It's one of your only 2 outs to it, right?
Right.
In the set, or one of your only 2 good outs to it, and it comes a level earlier, and it allows you to deal damage while doing it, and it stops that card from being able to recur itself, So, I don't know. I don't think it's the worst card in limited.
No, it's
I
not.
think it definitely loses 80 to 90% of its usefulness in a limited capacity. But I think outside of its limited capacity, it's so strong. I don't know.
For sure. Right, let's go ahead.
Again, maybe it's just because I'm so used to playing bad Capo cards and trying to make them good.
No.
Like
you know what they say, Mike. Another man's trash is another man. One man's trash is another person's treasure.
Yeah, like I said, I typically play her character's cards in a She has a really good level 0 for my Sumomo chairman.
I'll say this right now, Mike. I'll say this, Mike. There have been quite a few instances where Gavin and I would see cards that maybe like the majority of players will go, "Oh, this is plain garbage, plain trash. Why play this?" Period. And Gavin and I go, "No, this is actually good."
Yeah, because you can do things with it. I mean, Gavin and I always play around when because my locals we run an online tournament every week, and we have since the pandemic started, and we like to post our results because we like to have conversations about the decks that we build. Some of us play some, like me specifically, play some real jank, and some of us play some real fun stuff and different tweaks on different decks. And Gavin will hit me up and be like, "What was this even doing?" And I'm like, "Well, this is why I played this stupid card because it was really fun here."
Oh, okay. And I just usually go, sure. At the same time, going, yo, bruh, I'm scratching my head, man. What?
Yeah, like that. We didn't. Yeah, people were like not around this week, so we just had some casual games, and I was running this funny blue yellow Kami-sama deck that I wouldn't say is particularly good, but again, it was using the level 3 Yuta finisher.
Oh, and I was like, who gave you reversals, sir?
Yeah, one lane. That's all you need. One lane. But yeah, so I mean, again, I play some interesting stuff. I think this card is really good. I think it is. If you're playing green in Anniversary, okay, you're probably playing this card. If you're playing something that can grab Anniversary cards, even, you're probably playing this card at least as a one of. That's my assessment on it.
That's fair enough.
Fair enough. Okay, on to ratings. Playable.
Yeah, I know the fact that it is a very good answer to one of this deck's probably this deck's main weakness. I would argue this deck's main weakness is standby. I don't know what y'all think, but
it's definitely that's its that's its main weakness until you hit that unless you're playing the level 3 yellow red times where
that's more on that we get correct.
yeah, then you're like, please play standby deck, please, and then you just eat their And then you just hit level 2 and demolish them because they don't know what to do. They can't recover off of that a lot of the time. Like one turn from that.
Right. Fair enough.
But like, yeah, no, for any other anniversary deck, like without that top end, I definitely think this is. I would say it's at least playable plus, like for me.
Okay.
Because I would play it in.
That is fair enough.
In the context of this set, I would play it in any deck that I could run a decent amount of green in.
Gotcha. Right, so now we're going to exit the couple 1 to couple 2. Again, we're going to the couple 3 now. It's in our package, so Gavin and I will be doing this back to back with myself first. With first day of a tense part-time job, Sarah, 105K. So we have the return of the newspaper trait. So, and it's also sports. So, continuous recollection. If thank you for raising me, it's card number 48. It's in your memory. She gets on reverse. You miss blind stock.
And thank you for raising me. It's a 1-1 event. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 newspaper or sports among them and add to your hand, and bin the rest, exile this, and recollection during your turn. All of your guys get 500.
I think this card's really good in sports. I really do. I think in sports, this card is great. I don't know what you're doing in sports other than maybe you're trying to do the restand at the end of the game, which requires a bunch of stock, right?
And Sarah definitely helps with that, right?
Yeah, I don't think this card works in newspaper. I don't think the colors are good.
No, newspaper's more of a red-blue deck, if I'm not mistaken.
And there's no space to run 8 cards that aren't a climax combo, right?
Right.
At the bare minimum, though, at least it's a global 5. It replaces itself at the bare minimum.
While there's that, like, you know, if we're talking like newspaper specifically, Gavin, it's just more a problem of newspaper already has a ton of toolboxing.
Yeah, you have better things to do this stuff.
It was a meta deck back in the early 2010s because it was like one of the best toolbox decks available.
Yeah, like newspaper is probably still running Charles Finisher, right? Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, I again. The niche sports deck, which is basically almost like a Sarah waifu deck at this point in the game, right? I think this card is really good for that, and that's about it. I couldn't imagine trying to finish or trying to fit, this little package into an anniversary deck. I doubt
it as well. So anyway, let's go on to limited. Why the heck is Sarah a rare?
Wait, Sarah's a rare?
Sarah's a rare, yeah. I'm like,
yeah.
I will not. I'll pass.
I can. My assumption on why she's a rare. All right, follow me on this one, because you only need to get one of that stupid card into memory, and if you have 3 of her on field, you just plus 2 stock, right? Because you went stock even on the first reverse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the next 2 reverse, and that again, that's assuming you get 3 reverses, right? At 5,500 power. But it's a no climax stock plus with an easy condition.
I'd argue something like a Maya Kite. What rare is Maya Kite again?
Maya Kaini is an uncommon.
But she requires
a startup, man.
That's not different. Excuse me, you're in Conclave.
Oh, true. You have C3, so.
But yeah, like I said, and it sits. If you have one memory, it sits at 5,500, which is defendable, right? I wouldn't
call it defendable because it's your turn only.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. During your turn, you're right. Yeah. So I mean, now it mills your deck a little bit. Again, I think in a limited capacity, it's pretty bad because you need to have both cards.
Right?
And this is a rare.
We're only finding a 1-star in a box set in most cases.
Yeah, and like one of the memory cards. Why would you? Unless you have like
maybe 2 because it's an uncommon.
Sure, if you're running mono green and like you have nothing else to play, right? You didn't draw anything. You didn't pull anything good. Maybe this is the route.
Right.
Oh man, hard to justify.
Yeah. I again, really, really, really more than, I would say, very good. Again, I don't run the sports deck anymore, but when I used to run the sports deck, I could imagine that this setup would be a lot of what that deck wants. And again, people that have been veteran, slamming that deck for almost 10 years now will probably may disagree with me on that. But I feel like in the capacity for the sports deck, sure, this card's pretty good. Like, definitely more than playable. Would almost guarantee that I would pop this in that deck, but I don't care about that deck.
It's a little tricky. So definitely not definitely unfeasible and limited. That's for sure. The only
Yeah,
deck that
100%.
the only deck I appreciate is sports because newspaper doesn't really like this.
Yeah, newspaper hates that. I don't know. I call it, on my end, I would say it's niche playable in the sports deck. If you're running the sports deck,
So
you run this
you're
card.
getting a package niche.
Yeah,
Okay.
the whole package niche in the sports deck, because in the sports deck, I feel like it's worthwhile. I don't think you play it anywhere else. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of other people rated it lower than that.
Right, that's what I'm kind of considering here. Like, is the sports deck alone worth it? Period.
I guess I'll go next then.
Okay.
They make a big TV. Why? So we can watch the Sarah's first day of a tense part-time job.
we giving you a double gold here, right?
Of course. That's the default.
Okay.
All right, man. Let's see. All right, man. You're the only one left. So
I'm the only one left. Yeah, I don't have much of a choice. I don't have much of a choice either. So, the only thing that Sarah deserves is a brand new job.
dang. Oh man, we couldn't spare her.
I was like,
We couldn't spare her.
I don't think a sports deck alone is worth it.
That's
All right.
that's
Alrighty.
fair enough. I totally understand.
For sure. All right, Mike, let's start us off with the Capo 4 here.
Yeah. All right. Repeated memories. Sorene, right?
That's all right.
Yeah. Anniversary, magic, and cuisine. When this card attacks, choose one of your characters and it gets 500 power until the end of turn. When this becomes reversed in battle, you may reveal up to 3 cards of your deck. If you reveal one or more of this cards this way, choose up to one anniversary or magic character amongst those cards, add it to your hand, put the remaining cards in the waiting room, and discard 1 card from your hand. So we've got a modern day, on death Rize that, or on reverse Rize, I guess,
yeah.
that power pumps a little bit.
Sorry.
I think
one question before we move on.
Sure.
Mike, how well do you actually know like the Capo visual novels?
Okay, I know the first one pretty okay.
How well do you know?
I know the show a little bit.
How well do you know?
I know the show too,
How
though.
well do you know 4?
I don't know 4 that well.
Okay,
I don't know 4 that
all
well.
right. I was going to ask if whether or not Sorena's going to be a character that you think Gavin's going to hate. There's a slight running gag here that Gavin apparently typically hates characters with the cuisine trait.
Yeah, you know what? I can't. That's hard though, because in the bit that I know of Gavin's taste of characters, she's I don't know. She's kind of from what I know of her, the little bit that I know of her, she's kind of like a little bit matronly, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what else you'd call that. Like she's just sort of nurturing a little bit. I don't know.
Okay. Got it.
But yeah, I think this card's really good.
That makes sense. Chances are, you know how to cook. You probably care for people.
Exactly. I think this card's really good. When I first saw this card, I saw it in the same context as probably the next card that's coming up, and was like, oh, well, this enables that pretty well as far as the fact that it's in green. It's a green on reverse reason.
This is definitely one I can read. Like this is definitely an easy green splash.
Yeah, I feel like this card and the brainstorm that are coming up make green very, very playable. like because they splash at 0, right?
Right.
And
The next. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
I was
Keep
gonna say,
going.
I know there's another card that a lot of people run over this to use to enable the recollection, the memory function, right? The pay one,
You could also argue you play both.
Sure, you could totally play both. I I it, there are enough Da Capo decks that don't care about memory. This is a card I use it, and if I'm running a D4 deck, which I've a DC4 deck, which I have built, this card is definitely like I feel like this card is an auto include unless you're running the other card, then it's a maybe include.
Okay. Got it.
Now, having actually played this card myself, I'm going, honestly, I'd rather run the blue card.
Sure.
But at the same time, if you need green splash in your deck, like Mike said, this is one of the better cards you could honestly play. That and the brainstorm, especially if you want to ensure green by level 1 to run either the bomb or the combo just right up ahead. Honestly speaking, Stardonet is one of the best cards that you could honestly play.
Yeah, I feel like this card, just because of, and this is again, it's in context of what you're doing at the time. This card's secondary ability and the D4 brainstorm's secondary ability help enable the next combo that's coming up because it's non-reverse.
Right.
Or it's really, I guess, kind of a fever condition.
Yeah, spoiler
reverse.
alert.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, so I mean, we've been talking about a blue card that I know you guys haven't gotten to yet either.
Yeah,
Like,
we know what you're referring to.
Yeah, yeah. Anybody that's playing Da Capo knows that card at this point, I'm sure. I feel like
all right,
so
I would think.
yeah. So follow me on this one, okay? And some people agree with me, and some people don't. I feel like if you're running the clean cut, then you're probably running the blue card, right? Because that card works way better with a clean cut. You get the opportunity to attack with it before you have to send it to memory. If you're not running the clean cut in yellow, you probably, unless you care about memory, you're running this. If you don't care about memory, then why waste the stock sometimes, right?
Yeah, I totally get it.
This card is stockless, and it's really good green fix. If that other card didn't exist, I would run this card 100% of the time.
Fair enough.
Definitely.
I totally get you.
Definitely. Oh, so in limited, this is a double rare, man. This is gonna be hard to find.
But if you see it, you probably just take it.
Yeah. You find this card though, you slam this card immediately.
Yeah,
it's free mill. Like
the 500 could actually matter.
Yeah, exactly. I think this card is value town personally.
Oh,
Regardless. Honestly speaking, you know what to give this, man. Let's go.
Yeah, no, the fact it's stupidly easy green splash, it's free mill, it's free power pump. Yeah, you really can't go wrong with this card.
Yeah, I would give this card like as high a rating as you can. Like, I think this card is dumb good.
all right, for sure. All right, as we've been hinting at it for a while now, but only one promise, 104500 anniversary Magic family traits, and you have 2 or more other anniversary Magic characters, which is a little difficult sometimes. She gets 1000 power, and auto climax combo, and begin your card encore step. If from younger sister to lover, another climax rare gold bar trigger is your climax area, and you have 2 or more other anniversary or magic characters, bushy, and if either there's no character in front of her or the character in front of her is reversed, search your deck for up to 1 anniversary or magic character, reveal it, add to your hand, and then shuffle your deck.
I think this. Okay, I know Gavin and I have actually talked about this card before. In passing conversation when the set first came out and I was running it. I prefer this card in the anniversary deck over the yellow Maguro.
Arisa combo?
Yeah. Yeah. I prefer this card. There's a couple reasons behind that. One, again, 5,500 to me feels defendable because you don't even need a back row. You just use the 2K backup and boom, there you are at 75, which to me, again, feels like typically the magic number. It's a gold bar climax, so it's very easy to get into your hand. It's in green, and if you have a bunch of other green, that's good. And I feel like this is the way that Shimikazes should be printed from here on out, with because there's two. Shimikaze was a really good card when it came out, right? Right, because you didn't have a lot of ability to decks at the time weren't teching for it, weren't trying to avoid it. The runners weren't running stupid the way that they are. People weren't just slamming their fields the way that they are now, right? Well, this card allows you to get your search off regardless, and you're coming in at what are you coming in at 55, 65 with the combo. There's again, the brainstorm that's coming up next can boost its power. The card that we just showed before, like the last card that we just showed, can boost its power. There's a lot of ways to make this card pretty big on attack.
Right. And and like we're saying, your opponents just to say, F off, they're still popping off. We're playing like JC or something, or Aaron or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's so good for people, and what I love about it is that it does come at Encore Step, so you're not pulling cards out of your deck and then possibly triggering climaxes, right? It doesn't thin your deck before you want your deck thinned. When you're attacking with this, because you're probably still in first deck, right?
Right.
When you're attacking with this.
Yeah.
Either that or you've just refreshed, because again, this set is bonkers and can do that. But like, you're probably in first deck with this, so none of the cards you can grab are particularly bad. Some of them obviously less powerful than others, but as we've talked about, this set's such fire at this point in time that like I think this card is awesome. I think this is my preference of level 1 combo for this set.
I think the fact that we're choosing to like revisit this product, quite a number of months later, that definitely serves as a testament of like, how powerful this project was, like how much of an impact this project made in the meta game.
Yeah, my I have a couple of other friends in town that run DC after this set came out. My buddy John doesn't run this card. My buddy Ian does. His deck is actually pretty close to what mine was.
All right, like the fact that there's like more than one viable level 1 climax combo already speaks volumes.
Yeah. Oh no, for in the same color, right? Yeah, we've already seen 2 solid plussing combos in that don't necessarily need a reverse, right? In green, and I don't know. This one feels like a better version of the combo that people use in Summer Pockets. To me,
honestly speaking, you're talking about Owl combo, aren't you?
I'm talking about.
Well, you talk about Umi combo.
I'm talking about the draw 2 pitch one, right?
The draw 2 pitch one, the Kamome, the pirate.
Yeah.
A lot of the people that I play against with Summer Pockets in like the WGP when we had that going on, and even in hometown locals, we'll use that card. And I feel like this is better than that. This is just a better version of that card, and that card is heavily played. Oh
yeah, I remember facing off against that thing quite a bit, and I thought, okay, it's not bad. Though in context, though, Summer Pockets wants to draw 2 ditch one. I think DeCapo really wants the tutor instead. I'm just like the power of selection is it matters so much in DeCapo. Like,
oh yeah, and it's the best selection you can get unless you're almost out, right? And at that point, you have the ability to again take cards out of your deck when you want to take them out during your encore step, so that you can cancel better the next turn.
Right, and of course, being Niji, also having played Niji Gasaki, I feel that we're also kind of spoiled because, well, we have a very similar combo, except we get even bigger.
Yeah, I mean that set's super stacked already. Like I'm not gonna get that set's silly good, right?
I'm surprised my co-host hasn't called me spoiled.
It's definitely like I don't need to
say what's already known.
Oh God. God damn you.
Listen, I think this card, so this is how I view this card. Would I run this in a Magic deck? Sure. I think there are other cards that are more synergistic with Magic. Would I run this in a DC4 deck? Sure. I think there's another card that I would play in that deck that's more synergistic with that particular build. Now, if I'm playing it in an Anniversary, this is 100% my choice for the Anniversary deck.
For sure.
Fair enough, and I can actually see it. I did consider it. I did consider it, and you know what? I can see the merit behind it. Oh, and in terms of limited, gentlemen, hell no, forget it. You're not going to find the pieces.
Again, I mean, it's this. So climax combos in a limited capacity are really, they don't work the same way, right? If you find the pieces, you 100% play this. You know?
Right.
If you open
you're pulling off climax combos and limited, chances are you're like, you're a rare or uncommon character in a climax common.
Yeah, in this particular case, you've got a climax rare, right, and a double rare. You're probably not going to see it. If you see it, you auto take it.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Of course. It's just more of the chances of you finding out, like, the chances of you, like, winning kind of big on the lottery.
Okay, but follow me on this one too, though. Okay, it
Sure.
sits at 55 normally.
Mm-hmm.
So in the scale of spectrum of limited, vanilla isn't terrible.
No.
Interesting. Like, there's a reason why,
So
sometimes when we talk limited, Gavin or I will unironically say we rather take a vanilla over like a shitty rare.
Yeah, and I think this card, even without the climax, allows for at least some kind of power reach, right?
Fair enough. But anyway,
Like,
limited is probably not going to be like the main thing that determines what we give this card in terms of rating for this specific profile.
yeah, I get that.
All right, for ratings, we're going even further beyond, boys.
I like I said, I would rate this card as high as I can rate it in this set. I think this is
I have no choice. Like, this is definitely a very, very powerful combo. If not, like, Arisa exists, sure, but like, this thing Arisa, like, they're both good in their own right.
Yeah, and I think this is just more defendable than that one. And I play a bit more of green in my anniversary deck because I really like the green early play. But
fair enough.
Yeah. I guess this match trying to spoil like a ton of stuff.
I'm sorry.
I know you're excited.
There's a reason why we're like, hey Mike, come on, man, let's go.
I love your enthusiasm, by the way.
I love the Capo. It's a fun set, not like it's old.
I totally get it. I really like that because, from time to time, bring guests who are like very, very gung ho, very, very enthusiastic about the product in question.
Oh, you should hear me on Little Busters, man. Forever.
Oh man, I could imagine. All right, anyway, let's move on.
Next. Okay, so good at cooking Serrano. Oh boy, 001K. All right, so when she enters battlefield, choose one of your guys, give them 1,000, and she's a tap salvage storm, boys.
Oh, salvage brainstorms are my favorite. I love salvage brainstorms because I feel like they allow you to loop your climax combo more consistently than anything else, and this one enables that last card.
Right, that 1,000 pump, yikes. Now, of course, the 1,000 pump does mean that chances are you probably have to like you're just gonna go and turn to brainstorm go burr like in most decks.
Yeah,
fair enough.
But I mean, again, I always, and I know people are getting away from brainstorms these days. They're running 2, they're running 1. My buddy Tony hates brainstorms.
Nichikasaki has definitely told me, brainstorms, why even?
Yeah, I mean, some decks can do that. I typically like to, I feel better about my deck building when I start with 4 brainstorms and occasionally cut to 3. So
you know what? That's not a wrong thing to do.
It's not.
Yeah. And especially with this set where you can grab anything you want whenever you want it for the most part.
Yeah, the Capo is such a great toolbox title.
Yeah, I this brainstorm, the Rize, the level 1, like there are so many good anniversary cards. This is probably, in my opinion, the strongest brainstorm in the set.
I could see why, for multiple reasons. Green, like you said, green enables like multiple things. A lot of, gives you access, gold bars, good combos, etc.
Yeah, it's anniversary
and on-play power pump. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, and it's magic. And I believe, and I could be wrong. Your other magic tap self brainstorm that salvage is what is it? It's the one from the Little Busters set, right?
The
That
couple
one's
extra
magic when
buses.
it's.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that one's magic when it's on field, but you like can't search it as a magic or
Right,
something
right,
like
right.
that. It's
I
like
remember. I remember. I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
yes,
it's a different trade in deck.
gets royalty and something else in deck. So yeah,
Yeah.
and it's in red, which is a good color. But again, this gives you magic. This gives you anniversary. This gives you DC 4. This gives you green. Like that's if you're it's 4 different decks you can build it around. On top of that, as much as we talked about it, maybe Sorone is Gavin's favorite character, and he wants to run a cuisine deck. You know.
Maybe, just maybe.
I like I said, I think this card's really, really good. I think this card is like auto include in most decks, depending on what you're doing.
Yeah,
If
I
you
can see
really
the
need,
argument.
if you really need the green splash, she's actually a pretty good choice. And I run her personally, and I don't have any regrets. So
Yeah.
All right.
on it.
And unlimited. Oh, what? You see her. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Not taking her.
And she's a rare, so she's gonna be easier to find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When she came out, I was like $1.50. Well,
Well,
it's probably a few bucks at this point, right? I know some of the rares in the set,
Maybe question mark.
price checking.
Yeah, let's just do a quick price check.
Price checking.
Maybe $3 at this point.
I think this one and the Sakura wound up expensive for rares these days. I remember when rares back in the day were very expensive.
Buck
But,
50.
What's that?
$1.50.
Okay,
$1.50 still cool.
Still the same price. No.
Super affordable.
Mike, I remember some dark days where the double rares were like whatever, but the rares 1480 yen unironically.
Dude, there's some old Vita cards from back in the day that were like uncommons that were like $12. Like why?
Oh, man.
Or the old ARF from Nanoha way back when.
Dark days.
Yeah.
And our girl Nino here, only $4.
Yep.
These
So, yeah.
Okay.
These is $2, man.
Okay.
I feel like even in the capacity of
Like-
budget decks, which some people need to build, right?
American says no. Like if you're looking to play like a cheaper high tier deck, the couple Dal Segno would be it. Honestly speaking.
Yeah, it definitely has like a lot of almost all of what you need, and maybe you get like a double rare finisher, right? I like to build on budget sometimes because it's fun to just try, and I could probably build a pretty solid Capo deck for like $50.
Oh yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, maybe even less,
Our girl.
Oh yeah, this card.
Oh,
This
go ahead.
card. I was just going to say that I think that I rate this card as an auto include in like a lot of decks. I think this card is really, really good.
And our girl Himari, $7.
Oh yeah, I could definitely build that deck under.
You know what? I'm gonna give this card a playable because honestly speaking, it's not the end all be all, and the 1,000 pump is useful, especially if you're running Nino.
Mhm.
And it's great green splash.
For sure.
Though
Yeah.
she doesn't just wow me to death though.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's about me. I think she's a solid pick if you need the green, and like Gavin said, you're playing like Fever Nino earlier. Definitely a very, very good synergistic interaction for that. But not all the couple Dal Segno decks need this kind of brainstorm.
Sure. Again, for me, I prefer salvage brainstorms. It's a salvage brainstorm that has a solid secondary condition, in my opinion. It's not the best, but it's solid enough, right? It's a one-time use. It's in 2 good traits for it to be in and a good color for it to be in. So I'm gonna call this one really good. Like I think in a limited capacity, I think like you always take this.
So that'll be a playable plus for you for this one.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to make sure because like.
And
You
again,
might go even further behind or even further beyond, man.
You're further beyond.
yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm interesting to talk to about this set because I probably find some of the cards better than other people think they are.
Yeah. That's a good thing. We gotta have like some differentiation. Some dissent. All right, let's go ahead and move on here. So,
Okay. Is it actually my turn?
Be Mike's turn.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's Mike's turn.
Gotcha. Okay. My special seat, Chiyoko. She is a 3/2. Continuous effect. All of your mind you, this is important. She's 7,500 power. All right. All of your other anniversary magic and net characters get 1,500 global. Right. So she's clearly to be used in a support capacity. When this card is put to stage from your hand, draw up to one card, choose one of your opponent's characters, and it gets the following ability until the end of turn. You cannot play backups or events from your hand during battles involving this card. This card I feel like is a solid one of.
Yeah, it's definitely more of a
Maybe
tech. It's definitely a tech card. You know, not all decks need to
Yeah.
disable the ability to interact.
Yeah, it's a meta call. I feel like
That a
depending
call and you know your top end probably plays into this as well. Like if you're playing something like say the Mari, depending on what deck you're playing against, you probably don't need it.
Yeah, I mean it depends on what you're doing. It depends on what you're playing against. If I'm running into a WGP and I don't know what I'm running against, right? And there are some decks that have like anti-damage that are running around right now. Maybe that's the meta. Maybe something with, rest counters, whatever. Maybe somebody really likes the 1/0 blue. What is it, like an uncommon or common from Kami-sama? It's like pay for pitch an event, rest counter,
no,
right?
That thing, yeah.
Like, if stuff like that starts popping up, you probably run this as a one of, right? Because it gives you it gives you like one turn of what is it, Machine of Ice Xenon.
Right. You know, give yourself some partial sanctity of your turn.
Yeah, like I run a card that's similar as a one of in Million Live, but it doesn't have the power pump to it. Like, I don't know. Again, one of for me one of niche. Like, you meta call on it. I don't think it's not unplayable. It's definitely playable, but I definitely don't think it's like a great card.
Like, if you're going into blind, like, my biggest problem with this is, of course, space. We've been saying this all cast long. If you don't get anything else from this cast, space is a problem into Capo. And Chiyoko, I would love to include a copy of her, but it's hard to justify.
It's so easy to just like go. I just don't have the space for stuff like this.
Yeah, like, I mean, think about it. Do you play this or do you play what was it, a Yume or something from earlier? I can't remember.
Yume.
The Yume back row that heals, right?
Ooh, that's a hard decision, man.
Yeah, like, it depends on what you need.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
If you're worried about anti-damage, sure. Now, in a limited capacity, you probably take it because it's a level 3.
Right.
It's a level 3 that pumps your entire board, and you know, get running over things actually matters in limited.
Yeah.
Practically ensures something is dead.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think this card is more playable in a limited capacity, which to me puts my rating at...
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Yeah, again, not a terribly large discussion, I don't think, on this card. Because we're not seeing a lot of anti-damage right now.
Get this the playable minus.
Yeah, I think I can agree here, mainly because it's definitely one of those, like, as Mike was saying, mega call cards, and definitely shines more in limited than constructed for sure.
Yeah, I probably agree with you on that. I probably agree with you on the rating.
All right, go with the minus here. All right, because honestly speaking, like, whether or not Chiyoko, goes up in value depends on what's being played around October, November time.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, even when you're playing her, you're probably not playing her at more than a one of.
Right.
2 at max, but probably not more than a one of.
Ooh, 2? Ooh, that's something risky, man.
Yeah,
again, that's if
that sounds overkill.
Yeah, if everyone's running Grisaya and they have a way to use that rest counter constantly, maybe, right?
Okay, fair enough. Or if they're using the tap counter from Kami-sama.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
for,
saying.
for
Like,
some
we'll s-
reason. But but
yeah,
outside of, like those kinds of fringe scenarios for the time being,
yeah. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it being
right.
played in the
It's
Decker.
all I see is like saying November of this year, and people are playing like anti damage. Okay, sure, we were wrong 5 months
Yep.
earlier. Okay, moving on. Morning happenings, Nino, level 3, 2 costing us some power. So, choosing early play if you have 3 or more anniversary or magic characters in your memory, and on play you may discard one to heal your top card to your stock.
I think this is the best early play function that you have in the set, and part of why I play green.
I
You
definitely
know
see
what?
the argument.
I'm going. This is so easy. What?
Right,
Yeah,
so
you're
it's
it,
so easy, typically we see this on either the Aqua Star, you have like almost a full board, or you see this on the 2 or fewer climax condition in waiting room. But Nino's like, no, just play the bloody game the way you're meant to, and boom.
yeah, and you'll see that there's another card that helps enable that too in a little bit. But yeah, like
Right.
yeah, this card is definitely like this is my go-to early play, especially because I know what is it, Hamari? You want 7 stock going into that turn,
Right,
so
right,
this, this
and you just didn't go stock neutral on the turn you play a single. Like stock neutral early plays are very good when you're already spending like a good amount of stock to get your requested shenanigans going.
yeah. So like I think this card helps enable that. Yeah, I don't know. I again I don't know how much. Yeah, I mean, you probably maybe you want it, maybe you don't. Well, no, you probably still want this thing even if you're playing limited because it's still a stock neutral, or 1 stock healer, even if you can't get the early play on it.
Correct.
Right, right,
Correct.
right, right,
So
right, right, right.
yeah,
I
I think
agree
this
there.
card's
Well,
really
sure.
good.
If 3 or more, you probably won't be seeing it too much in limited, but she's still a solid 10k, going stock neutral beater, as Mike was saying.
And
Yeah.
that's not terrible, even going into level 3. Now in constructed, if if I know it's the Capo matchup, and I don't see this, I'd be like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah. Again, it just depends on how you're rolling the anniversary deck. I don't think it fits in the deck that runs the early plays. The red yellow deck. I don't think it fits in there.
It doesn't fit in there
It, it
necessarily.
it fits in the deck that's DC4 heavy.
Though I would say even in that deck, you don't mind doing this anyway because
Sure.
But
Sure.
get like a more win more board.
but the problem is in that particular deck, you struggle a bit for green. But
You definitely do. You
Yeah.
definitely do.
Yeah, like I said, I think this card. If I think if you're playing Himari Finisher, you're probably running this card too alongside it.
I agree. I agree with Mike on this one. So in terms of verdict, boys, you know what? I think I'll have to go further beyond here. I think I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's definitely like one of the best early plays I've seen, like period. Especially in contest. It's just such an easy condition. Like, sure, you don't get like the 11k stat line, but you don't really care.
You don't really care because one of the cards that you can enable it will make it stronger anyway.
Right.
But yeah, I agree with you guys. I think this is as good as you're gonna get on.
Yeah,
level
no, that's
of-
definitely one of the better early
power
plays I've
in the
seen,
set.
like in more recent times. All right, let's
Right,
move on. Yep.
Uh,
Gavin?
So, whose turn?
Oh, is it actually mine? Okay, little dev mode Nino 001500. Okay, when this enters battlefield, choose one of your opponent's guys in the front row. They get minus 500 till end of turn, and it is a drop search.
Sure enough. I mean, again, it depends on what you need out of a drop searcher, right? Whether you play this one or the other one. This one's an uncommon. The other one's an uncommon also. So yeah, I mean, the other one boosts itself 1500 power, makes us up to 35. This one is negs something 500 power, right? And this one hits different traits. So like you can run this. Oh no, the other one hits.
Your one hits
The other one's,
anniversary
music.
music, play, or
And,
trait list.
Yeah, so this one's good for anniversary or magic, I guess, if you wanted to run a drop searcher in the magic deck.
Right, and maybe the part of minus 500, it can matter in some matchups. You're playing against something like Assault Lily, Shuggling Dice.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
that doesn't go off for the Assault Lily player. But
yeah, it's a front row kite.
outside of French cases of that, the power of minus 500, the minus 500 power probably doesn't matter most of the time.
Yeah, it's a front row kike, right? It's okay. I think the other drop searcher is better in context of the anniversary set and in green.
Fair
Again,
enough.
if you're playing it in Magic, it's a really good drop searcher for Magic, or it's a pretty good drop searcher at least for Magic. It comes uncommon, it comes in green. It's probably a snap pick for limited, right? You probably always pick this in limited if you see it.
Yeah, power minus 500, that could be the difference between tying a lane and winning a lane.
Yeah, and again, it's just a second copy of whatever Highlander card that you need to finish the game.
Right.
So
now,
yeah, I mean,
I think I prefer the other drop search because of the fact that it's a 3,500 for the turn.
I do too.
Matters more. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So again, outside of limited, I feel like for a Magic drop searcher, and I think there was even another Magic drop searcher that might be better, but I don't remember.
From an older set, I assume is what you're referring to.
Yeah, I think that. Well, there's a yellow one that I think is just generic Magic drop search, and I think it's like a 2K or a 2,500 power. But yeah, I don't know. This card doesn't wow me like the other drop searcher did in capacity for drop searchers.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, I'll let you guys deliberate your ratings. I'll be right back.
Sure thing. I will go ahead. I'll be less nice than I was to Nanako. I'll go ahead and give it a playable minus. The minus power could matter in some context, but chances are it wouldn't.
Yeah, for sure. If it matters when someone's trying to run some kind of a tech niche card out in the front that you need to go to waiting room rather than be reversed.
Neil's one of those cards where she matters more depending on how much of the field is playing 500 powerful utility cards. If people are again, going back to the Assault Lily example, 500 power, says if it dies, you can plus up to 2 cards from the top of your deck or something.
Yeah, exactly. But then there's even the version, even in Contai, the card that you need to kill is 1,000 power, right?
Right. He begins he begins a funny number. He begins it's she's 1,000 power.
Yeah.
You have to be a bomb that's act that power or lower to non-red bomb that's act that power or lower to do something about her.
Yeah, unless you're a card that negs a K off field, which there are some, but this is not one of them.
This is not one of them.
I would say if this card was minus 1,000 power, on play to something,
definitely. Or I like another card that is cool thing. Back when Saikana was the shit. Betrayal and Parting Utaha was 500 power, and there's also the area drop search as well.
Yeah. This card's good for stuff like that, for sure.
Right. Something that Gavin used to say on the show a lot, something that says minus 500, he would say, exterminate the rest of the Saikano population.
Yeah.
I would say a fair number of the cards are 500 power.
No, for sure. Yeah, and there are definitely some sets that run such low power. I would say that this card is, I would call it playable.
All right.
Because, again, it's a drop searcher. It's never bad.
You can just not playable. Fair enough.
Yeah, it's never bad. It's not necessarily good.
Right. The problem is, more and more people, in general, we've been seeing the field at level 0 tend more and more towards bulk matters.
Yeah.
If it's not bulk, it's something like Shenlin. Someone gets removal and pluses you.
Yeah,
Shenlin's the exception, not the rule.
Or you're trying to run, cards that mill you, cards that.
But even getting, we've seen some bulky utility,
Yeah,
it could be 2,000 power, 2,500 power, even in some rare cases.
Yeah, you probably run a Ricky over. You probably run a Ricky over this, right?
Right. A Ricky could be especially the more modern day Kasumi from Nishigasaki or the new Kurumi from Dale Bullet, they're 2,000 power.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember the size of the one from Slime, but like it's pretty good too.
It's 1,500. 1,500.
Yeah, 1,500.
1,500 unless you're talking about Shuna, who's a 2K.
Yeah,
No.
they're both like be unaffected by this.
Yeah.
Let's see here. The only thing that's 500 power that's really relevant right now, I think that I can think of is Shen Lin. And guess what? Shen Lin, even if you sniper, still goes off.
Yeah,
That
so
is
it's
the
not.
sad part. Like all you do is avoid the cock bomb.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, so if you really need a drop searcher and you're running the level 1 combo in this that we just talked about, maybe this is your pick.
I don't know, man. I'd probably go with the 3,500. But you know what? I'd hate to be the bearer of bad news. Give this the niche.
That's fair enough.
That's fine.
Like, if Saikano were still the bully, I would agree with Mike here.
Fair enough.
But
Again, it's a matter of what you need to do with it, right?
Yeah.
fair enough. All right, next.
Right, so Mike.
Yes. What do we got? Dazzling Full Moon Sorone. Continuous. If you have 2 or fewer climaxes in your waiting room, this card gets minus 1 level in hand. So it's an early play 3/2/10K. When this card is put to waiting room from stage, you may return this card to your hand. If you do, put 1 green card in your hand to stock. So that's kind of an interesting recursion ability, right?
I should say put up to 1 card.
Yeah.
Oh, it's actually put up to 1 green card for your waiting. Oh, excuse me, for your waiting room. I was not able to read that earlier for some reason. Excuse me, people.
No problem. Okay, so which makes it a little different, but again, it's definitely like an interesting form of recursion, right? And climax combo, when Awakening Kiss, which is a gold bar trigger, is put in your climax area. If this card is in your front row, choose up to 2 of your anniversary magic characters, and they get 2,500 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. That climax combo is pretty awful. I would say it's probably the worst climax combo, especially on a level 3 in this set.
I think this is saved solely by limited.
Yeah, I was about to say, man. I was about to say, I don't have. If Mike couldn't save this one, oh boy.
Yeah, the only thing that's cool about this card is its recursion, but it's not like it has a good come and play effect, right?
No,
it's just
it
a
doesn't.
3/2. It's just a 3/2 body that can possibly be an early play 3/2/10K 2 soul.
This is an example of a climax combo that you could feasibly play limited and will actually give you success.
Yeah, I'm definitely not playing this card.
The early play condition is very easy, and you pull off this climax combo unless your opponent's playing like, they actually pull off an anti-change bomb or something. Your board's not dying.
Yeah, this card's just bad. I would call this card unplayable. Like,
I will give it the merciness. Limited save this, in my opinion.
yeah, limited. It's okay in limited. It's okay in limited. I don't think it's even okay enough in limited that I would always play it. Maybe because it gives you a level 3 for more than 1 turn in a row. I guess. But,
I will beat Sorane with 30 shoes for her insolence.
Yeah.
Oh hell no, man! Not even limited can save this one, man. Oh.
yeah. I agree with you at least on like maybe not full, but like I definitely think that she's bad. Like below niche to me. Yeah, that's probably where I'm at.
Okay, fair enough. You too.
Not the worst of the worst, but not. Yeah. But again, definitely the worst climax combo in the set.
Alright, we will move on. So we now have Naki Wing Kyoko, 00500. So when your character's trigger check reveals a climax, if you have another anniversary magic or music character, Bushiro, little difficult there. You may discard 1 climax. If you do, look at up to the top 2 cards of your deck, add up to 1 card monster to your hand, and mill the other. And rest this card. Choose one of your opponent's characters in the front row and gets power minus 1,000 until end of turn.
All right, way better than the last card that negs things in my. I feel like you always play this card, at least a couple of it in the 8-bar deck if you're running an 8-bar.
Oh,
deck,
yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely. If you're playing 8 gold bars for some reason.
You know what? Even if you're playing
So
singular
the main
gold
reason you
bar,
play 8 gold bars where you can play 2 level 1 climax combos, I believe.
I think I run a couple of this card in my music deck because I think I'm running something like Pants Gold Bar,
Oh,
something
okay.
silly like that.
Okay.
Like, so like if I'm triggering things, I'm pitching things,
Yeah.
right? Sorry, I'm running 8 Pants in my music deck. I'm running 8 Pants. So yeah, I mean, you can run it in there and
Right,
like,
sure.
oh look, I've triggered a card, pitch a card, do the thing.
Chiyoko here is definitely not breaking Swordsman Kirito from SAO 10th anniversary, but
I mean, still good to throw those extra climaxes out of your hand, and you know,
there's definitely mirror angle. Unlike breaking Swordsman Kirito, she'll trigger on any climax trigger. He's not limited to like one specific type. Breaking Swordsman Kirito says specifically pounce, right?
Yeah, and we've been seeing the secondary effect be used in that fabled Batman Ninja deck.
Oh yes.
So well these days, right?
Oh yeah, Jun's been white knighting Batman Ninja for years, man.
Dude, and it's with this effect though he uses, and it crushes people sometimes because knocking a K off of people's cards in the front row is actually pretty solid. Like, you know, because again, yeah, it's hard to find something that's valuable at 500 these days, but at 1,000, that's another story.
Right, definitely. Right.
Like 1,000 hits Hibiki.
Now, 1,000 gonna say Hibiki. You're right.
Because everybody's running contact.
We all wish it was Contai was our overlords, but unfortunately not.
I don't know. Do you actually?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I don't know. I was about to. Well, again, I was like,
will be on the receiving end of contest shenanigans again.
No, I'd be the one dishing them out, sir.
So at the end of the day, it's like this. The biggest issue with this card, in my opinion, is trait. It's hard to fit this card in a music deck because sometimes you need your field to be all music, right?
Yeah.
This card doesn't allow for that because it's anniversary and net. Now, if I'm running like the DC4 deck, I could fit a couple of this card in there. If I'm playing against a field that I think is very power heavy and I'm trying to run that level 1 that requires a reverse, maybe I run this in there. You know, I don't know. The traits really, in my opinion, hurt this card. And you know, again, maybe not everybody agrees with that, but I think the traits hurt this card because it would be way better in the music deck if it was also music.
Fair enough. I would say, because having like more for like an anniversary deck, if anything.
Yeah.
And in anniversary, what room do we have? And I could have sworn this by the traits alone. This card was from Sal.
Right?
Crying.
Exactly. Or maybe she's hacking through the gate. I don't know.
Bro.
But no, I mean, nonetheless, it's not a bad card. I think if you're running it, if you're playing it in limited, you 100% of the time pick this card because you can trigger any it allows you like
the minus 1,000. It's definitely very handy.
Very relevant there, in my opinion.
Yeah,
very
so,
relevant.
I would say I'll give it the playable minus.
Yeah, give it the playable minus. Thanks, Limited.
I agree with that too. I agree it's playable minus on this one. And I'm sure somebody's gonna get on there and get really upset about that and be like, "Oh, this is the best card in the set." But I don't know about it's good. It's good, but it's not great. And I don't think it's like I don't think it's ultra playable. And again, had it had better traits, I would call it playable.
For sure. All right, let's move on.
Wonderland Idol Alice, 104K, Anniversary in Science. So when this attacks, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's an anniversary, magic, or event, choose one of you guys, get them 1,500, and you leave the top card on the top of your deck. Alarm. If you are level 1 or higher, choose one of your guys and this card and exchange their positions.
That's so weird. That's so weird.
Yeah, I'm just like,
So
what?
so
I
this is
like the chances of you having something that's worth swapping.
yeah, this is I feel like in order to like create but like maybe you need different colors in your zone in your climax zone. Maybe you need or in your level zone rather. Or so I don't know, or your clock, right? Maybe you
It's
need
this is
I don't know what
definitely
the hell you need.
weird.
Yeah, or maybe like maybe you only have level zeros on the field and
But
like
replacing level
you
zero with
want to
this
run
doesn't
something
really
over.
sound that much better either because this thing's pretty weak.
Yeah, I mean, but it can boost 1500, which is not
There's a
bad, right?
chance. There's a chance you could boost something
I
by
mean,
1500.
it's a pretty good chance. It's a 42 out of 50 chance,
Yeah,
right?
reveal not a climax.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough, but still, the fact that it's not truly guaranteed. Like, the best thing that this thing, or the main thing is this thing's going to do is reveal information,
Sure.
but you're going to immediately trigger it, so that's also kind of like
Yeah,
WTF.
yeah. I mean, again, it's silly. Like,
Why?
yeah, I think the alarm
This,
effect is again, it's that much more.
both of these make me go why.
Yeah, you would need another alarm to make it relevant, and I can't remember if there is one. There's probably another alarm that makes this mildly relevant, but I don't remember what it is. If it was magic trait, okay, all right, follow me. I think I figured it out.
Oh
This is
boy.
terrible. All right, you ready for this?
Let's go.
Take a look at what decks this goes in. Anniversary and Magic. Can you think of a Magic card that wants to be on the top of your clock at the end of your during your encore phase? Can you think of one?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Are you telling me that swimsuit Onzu was actually a magic trait character?
I think she is, actually. Let me look through my
Yep.
deck right now.
Yep.
Let me look through my deck right now. Holy shit, he's runny.
I broke the
Swimsuit
card.
magic.
I broke the card.
However, you need to be level 2 or higher before she heals you.
Yeah, that's for sure. And this is level 1 or higher. But do you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I was like,
it-
wait a minute. There's only one card. I
Like-
was like, there's only one possibility I could think of here.
yeah, and she is not a good trait for that. She's science, right? But again, if you're playing something that can snag anniversary, right? You like
Go.
clock this.
To be fair to your merit, the good thing is, especially if you're playing mainly anniversary cards, your cards that are finding magic are also able to find anniversary. So you're not
That's
entirely screwed.
That's true. So this is the big brain play, right?
Big-
You're at level 2. You're at level 2, right?
I almost
You
want
clock
to.
this.
I almost want to give us a different. I almost want to give us a different range just for that reason alone.
You clock this stupid card, draw into your Anzu at that point, right? Because that's the only reason you didn't clock in. You didn't clock that card itself, right?
Again,
pay the one-
drop the Onzu for one.
You pay the one stock to put the Anzu out there, right?
Oh my goodness.
Then this is even better, right? Because what does this card hit? This hits events too, right? So you're playing unrestricted De Capo and you're using the event with it.
No!
We're going too far.
I legitimately thought they were going to take that off of the restriction list
You did.
when I saw the cards for the set come out. I was like, there's like, okay, cool. I see what they've done here, and they made it so. Oh yeah, we're going to totally be able to do that again. Nope.
No more just randomly healing down 3 on a single turn.
There's a workaround for it if you're playing chairman, but
I've been playing chairman. Come on, man.
there's a 1/2 event that does the same exact thing, but it only takes chairman out of your clock. But not any cards, right? But just the same, this card's terrible.
Where is Alice going? To hell, I hope.
This card's terrible. Yeah, I'll say it's one sleeping Doge bad. just be, just because now that I've said this, I hope somebody tries to wheeze this into their Magic deck
Oh
to
no.
Anzu. Again,
Uh,
I
oh,
can't remember. There are other cards that have alarm stuff in this set, and I don't
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
what
yeah,
they
yeah,
are. And
there are, but on just like one of the obvious ones.
yeah, what I was saying was there might be a good purpose for this. I don't remember. I seem to remember there being something that's like mildly worthwhile. It might be a card in yellow or something. But just the same.
Give like, no, I'm sorry, I was about to bring up a card, but then I remember it was actually in Zero no Tsukaima.
Gotcha. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine this card being played.
give this the dank meme.
Okay. I was considering, but I'm like, no.
Give
It's
this, give this the.
Fuck,
There's
dang it, Mike, what have you done?
please run this in a game,
Oh no.
Gavin. Please do.
I don't have Alice. Otherwise, I'd be like, you know what? I might actually give it a fucking try.
Oh no.
I have all the cards that are required for this. I have the 4 Anzu and the 4
Oh,
Alice.
oh my god! I'm running two. I'm running two on.
Y'all be too much.
All right, next.
Alright, Mike, take it away.
All right, cooking together, Nino. Oh shit, they all love to cook. See that? It's a 1/1 500 power, which sounds awful, right? So you got to know that this card is loaded, and it is. Anniversary Magic Family. Assist. It's a level assist, right? All of your anniversary and magic characters in front of this card get X power. X equals the character's level multiplied by 500. When this card is put to stage from your hand, to choose one anniversary or magic character in your waiting room and put it in your memory. Very, very important for the set, right? And auto, pay 1. When you level up, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one anniversary or magic character in your memory and add it to your hand.
I think what's
This
really happening
card is-
here is going back to like your cooking together thing, I think this is more of Neil's like, you know what, I need to learn how to fucking cook. Sarange, please teach.
Exactly. No, this card is actually really good. Aside from it being, I like level 1 level assists. They're cool. Aside from that though, the 2 secondary abilities, right, are fantastic for this in order to enable your level 3, right? You pop a card into your memory, and then when you level up, you can pull it out. Now, the thing about that is if you already have enough cards in your memory, right? You can pop the level 3 into your memory, and when you hit level 2, pay 1 to put it into your hand.
That's actually really good, actually.
Yeah, that's pretty nifty.
Yeah. I've used it to do that a couple of times to ensure that I have, or really, I mean, put any card in there. You can do it with a Mario, just to ensure that you have what you need, right?
Yeah, no.
It depends on when you put this card out.
There's definitely merit to like this card's secondary abilities.
Yeah, I think this card is really good. I think this is the go-to level assist for this set if you're running any kind of.
Yeah, you're playing one for sure.
Yeah, I think I run it as a 2 of. But
Definitely, if you're running green, this is probably the best support that you can probably use, because of the fact that, okay, sure, it adds to your count and it grabs stuff, and it's also a level assist which helps Nino out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And
Making Nino at 11-5 easy.
Yeah, and it's magic, and it's anniversary, and it's green, and I think it's actually really good and limited too, because again, it allows you to put the card that you want to see in memory and pull it out later.
If not even that, enable recollection when you wouldn't otherwise be able to, because you're lacking on the higher rarity recollection enablers.
Yeah, exactly. What does it say?
Common.
Is it common. Yeah, I mean, you might find 2 of it.
Right? This is probably the one of the few lower rarity memory enablers you'll see when doing limited.
And and it makes your field that much bulkier and harder to kill.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's.
Sorry, you go on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say, so because you have a tap self brainstorm, right? It's fine, that works on its own. That's cool. This can sit in the back row, right next to it, makes your level 1 combo also a base 6K at that point.
You're playing
Which again,
yeah.
yeah,
Or
which
you're
again
playing
enables.
Yume 6-5.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, and so it makes them very defendable, very very defendable in my opinion. I don't know. I'm checking here how many I run 2 of it in my deck. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
for
run 2
sure.
of it. I think it.
So,
I think
yeah.
it's definitely
Yeah,
worthwhile,
no,
especially in
fair
a green.
enough. So, yeah, I would say overall, I would give it a solid playable.
Yeah,
Let's go even further beyond, boys. Let's go.
Okay. Fair enough.
I agree with Gavin on that. Because I think it's the best level support you're going to see, and I think in limited, if you're looking at it from that perspective, it's really solid too.
It's one of the reasons to play green.
Yeah, I don't think the only reason to not play this card is if you're not playing green. That's really it. If you don't have green in your deck, you don't play this card.
Fair enough.
Actually, let's do a quick price check because, honestly speaking, some people might bring up, well, I don't have the cash for this. Well,
it's a common, so hopefully it's no more than 50
how
cents.
would a common be? What's the last time common was
man,
very expensive?
It's 20 yen. It's literally 20 cents, man. $1 can buy you a playset of these.
Yeah. So yeah, this card. Yeah, I think this card's worthwhile. My deck is a silly yellow, green, red amalgamation nonsense deck.
I wouldn't call it silly. All right,
Okay,
next,
yep.
we'll move on. We now have Wonderland Rabbit Sorange. 2,000. It is a 2,500 plus 1,000 backup.
3,500 counters. I don't know how I feel about these in constructed.
All right. So everybody's been really
like maybe the other deck that's not Himari, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of people these days I've seen a lot of people talking about these counters that are now believers on these, and they're really big on 3,500 counters. If a set has a 3K send a memory counter, I would 100% of the time rather play it than a 3,500 counter.
And that's very fair.
Fair enough. You're trading 500 power for such good utility.
Yeah.
Right.
So in limited, I run this card, right? Because in limited 3,500 power, sure.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Very powerful and limited.
Which makes it like niche playable to me. But in niche playable, if you're trying, yeah, if you're running the red yellow deck, right, with the level 3
yeah, Otome.
against the one. Yeah, Otome. Yeah, if you're running the crazy Otome deck.
Yeah, more on Otome like get your red people.
Yeah, but like other than that, nah, I can't see it.
It's hard to justify.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I guess gotta give it to this. It's really only usable in limited.
Yeah, that's where I'm going as well.
I agree with you. It's usable in limited and it's usable in the Ultimate deck, and that's in my opinion that's it.
Even in
Otome, you could just be like, I could just play like a second sack counter or something instead, and I'll still be fine.
Again, yeah.
She's big enough on her own, man. You don't really need the help.
Right.
Sure, but I mean,
your opponents are not grabbing her.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case. Fair enough. I mean, you can consider it.
Yeah.
Right. Next.
Yep. Now we finally moved to Dal Segno.
Time to spend together Hazuki. 00, 1500. Anniversary, Kazanashima, and she's part of the student council. Alrighty, all of your anniversary and Kazanashima Island characters get 500 power. Always. And tap this, choose one of your guys, and gives them the following ability to end of turn. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, clock swap it.
Okay. If you're running a Dal Segno set or deck with green in it, card's okay, I guess.
If you really need the green splash, this is what I'm personally running at in my deck. So if you really need the green splash, Hazuki's really good. Sure. Honestly speaking, it gives you the ability to basically, to clock swap things without being a clock bomb, which, honestly speaking, it really depends on what you're facing. Yeah, like if you're really scared of, say, Shizu from Slime and cards like that,
any game of on def ability or on reverse ability.
Yeah, or easy recursion.
Right,
Even
like
right. Oh, go ahead.
like
I was just
Hatsuki, like just deny things like say segwaying that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, you want to hear my really bad reasoning as to why I haven't run my DS deck?
Go ahead.
Yeah, sure
Don't
goes.
have sleeves. I don't have sleeves for it. I don't. It's really hard for me to get DS sleeves.
You actually remember that one of the people you're talking to doesn't believe in character sweeps. Period.
Oh, I know. I've been yelled at for it.
Yelled
I
at
thought
holy shit, Gavin. What have you been telling us, man?
$11 get sleeves 2 decks, Mike. What the hell are you doing?
Dragon Shield. The corners
No,
of
no, no.
Dragon Shields catching my playmats.
Real talk, Mike. Have you checked Yahoo Auctions or Mercari?
I have and I've found them before, but they're really expensive when I do, and like I don't care about the deck. It's not like okay, so I'll small plug here. Sleever Queen usually has just about anything that I want when it comes to sleeves. I was able to find these.
Sleeper Queen.
Yeah, that's my dude right there. But I had a Macross deck that I quote unquote max rared my Macross deck, and he had Lin Minmay sleeves.
Okay.
Yeah, so
But
like
come on, man.
I'm willing to spend.
That's the wrong era.
I agree with you, but the card that I'm using as my level as my quote unquote finisher is the SDF. So I felt it was
okay. Fair enough.
just the same terrible decks and sleeves and good sleeves aside. Oh, I also got my Mahime sleeves off of Sleever Queen.
Yo, let's
But
go.
yeah, but those sleeves, funny enough, not a bad price at all. Very reasonably priced. The decks are so cheap that the sleeves are usually worth more than the decks. In this case, I just don't care enough about Dal Segno. I like it. It's a cool deck, but I have so much Da Capo already that I like more that I just don't. I haven't really run my Dal Segno deck because I don't.
You could grab Ame sleeves or Himari sleeves, man.
The Himari sleeves are kind of hard to find sometimes, and they're expensive.
They are.
Well,
Oh man.
So they produced a bunch of new sleeves for Da Capo and Dal Segno, and they went on a pre-order that I didn't realize went up, and I missed it.
Oh, bloody hell! So if I'm ever in the market for Himari sleeves, well, I better be prepared to pay that surcharge.
Yeah, every once in a while I check. Every once in a while I check like Suragaya or something, but I don't.
Oh, I see. Fair enough. Well, anyway, back to Hatsuki here.
Why is this card's so rare, man? This gonna be hard to find and limited.
But if you find limited, you're in a pretty decent position. You got like possibly permanent removal.
Yeah, I feel like if you find this card in limited, you always take it. Like I think this card's a good always.
It's a global 5, bulk is going limited, and that extra ability could be very handy.
Yeah,
especially because if your opponent's trying to get off their own memory enablers and destroying the board, you just deny that shit.
Yeah,
you slow them the heck down.
Yeah, this card's good and limited. This card's good if you're playing the fun Dal Segno deck that pops a bunch of is it like the time deck or something? I can't remember. It's the one that pops a bunch of stuff onto field that early plays.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, it's good for that. So I would say I would call it niche playable for sure.
If I remember correctly, the Ame early play in Dal Segno does rely on a startup. I believe in order to gain a bunch of power. I don't remember. I don't remember. You would know that card better than I do because I just remember that card being played 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, I remember playing against it the year that
I think I know what you're talking about. That sounds very familiar.
It's a card. Yeah, I don't remember the exact wording. It's a level 3.
I'm fairly confident he's right in that you're using Act to give it a bunch of power.
Yeah, 1500 power or X power or something.
I remember it healed you as well.
Yeah, it's the early play healer, right?
Yes, it's the early play. Yeah.
Okay, the blue early play, right?
Yeah, the early play's blue.
Yeah, I actually, so funny enough, the year that deck won the Nationals, I played against him in the first round.
Holy.
Okay.
Wow, that was 5 years ago, man. Holy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know what? I'm actually gonna have to be on the opposite end of the spectrum here. Give this card the playable.
Okay.
And,
Yeah,
I don't blame you. I'll be in the middle of y'all. I think it's more of a playable minus. You have the space. Definitely handy. But definitely I see it's more being useful in something like limited and constructed in a nutshell.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, next.
Right.
Is this one me?
Yeah,
or-
this is you. This is you.
Important partner, Hazuki. It's a 2175. Obviously, student council. It's got the traits that it needs for Dal Segno, right. Recollection. When this card is put to the stage from your hand, if you have 3 or more cards in your memory, this card gets 4K power and +1 soul until end of turn. So it's like it becomes for 1 turn a bad version of Lightning Flash. Right?
Right.
Like a bad version that doesn't send something to stop. So I
can't believe I'm making a reference to like that old of an SAO card here, but at the same
I'm old.
time, I'm not surprised because of who we have here.
I ran Lightning Flash into the ground. Are you kidding me? That card was great in its time. I think that card was the first early play removal, or even level 3, like 1 cost level 2 removal for a level 3 that I can remember. But
I'm pretty sure
just the
games
same.
before it resisted, but it's more of no one had the reason to really play them.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess this card doesn't require you having it across from a level 3, so maybe it kills like a 2/2, right?
Well, 11-5.
Maybe. A lot of the 2/2s these days are 10.
Forces out the counter or forces the discard for character hand encore.
Yeah, and it does hit for 2 soul, I guess. And granted, this is, if you have 3 or more cards in memory, and I don't know how well I don't remember how well Dal Segno gets things in memory. I think it's
Yeah, it does it pretty well. Like you have Funny Hat. It's one of your main memory enablers, and that's pretty easy to
yeah,
play.
right. It does. Yeah, it does have some good cards in like the original Dal Segno set that go to memory, right?
Yeah, Funny has one of your main ones.
Yeah. And so like, I don't know. It's okay. Again, I think this one's maybe. I would say it's playable minus for me.
Playable minus.
Before we go into limited.
Yeah.
In limited, I don't think you're.
You're probably not reaching a 3. It's the biggest problem I see here.
Yeah, so you're
basically useless.
Yeah, so you're a 2175 at that point.
Which does nothing. You just pass it.
I wouldn't even call it playable minus. Maybe I'm gonna call this card niche.
Okay,
if you really want to play
enough. I don't know how I feel about this card. Dal Segno is a standalone deck.
What is the cure for such disorders? Beatings. I'm sorry, but
I don't disagree. Like
I can promise like this is only this is only for the turn she's played. Really doesn't sit well with me.
Okay, but follow me on this one though, okay? You're probably it's probably getting run over next turn. Mm-hmm. It probably only matters for that turn.
Right, that's the biggest problem I have. So I'm going, you know what? By Himari, behave yourself. I'll give you a taste of my hat.
Oh, damn.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, that's a totally fair.
All right, next.
All right, we now have Paradise System, a 1/1 event. Brainstorm, flip over your top 3 cards of your deck and put it into your waiting room. Choose 1 level X or lower anniversary or Kazanga Shima character in your waiting room. Add it to your hand, where X is the number of anniversary or Kazanga Shima characters put to your waiting room this way, and put this card to your memory. And auto recollection at the end of your turn. If this card's in your memory, and if damage dealt by your characters is cancelled 2 or more times that turn, you may add this card to your hand.
Okay. Operation Tornado, check. You exile this, check.
I seem to remember that there's better Paradise System cards though.
Yes, there was one in the original Dal Segno.
Yeah.
And what's the? I can't.
Let me find it and read it. Actually, let
Yeah,
me find it and read it just for comparison's sake.
Is it yellow in the
I-
original set? Or
I
red?
cannot remember. I think it might be, but
it should be yellow because the set was only yellow and blue.
There's some red in it, I thought.
no. Mike's definitely right. There's definitely some red in here.
Yeah, Dal Segno. What it was okay. It was
Oh,
a
yeah,
weird
yeah,
set.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
the
yeah,
Capo
yeah,
Dal Segno and
The
like
Capo-
70% of the.
Yeah.
Okay, so-
there was the Capo 4 stuff or something. Or
The original Paradise System is this. You exile this card. You may put this back in your grave. When you don't cancel, if this card is in there and if you took 3 or more damage, you may pay the cost. If you do, dig 4, take 1. And put the remainder back on top in any order. Back on top of your deck. So it's an incredibly weird card.
Yeah, like, and I can't remember the card that cares about Paradise System either, because there's like a card that cares about it.
Let me see if I can find it. You guys can continue your analysis. Well,
Yeah, for this event, it's okay. It's an okay event.
I
don't know if you necessarily-
don't think either Dal Segno or the anniversary deck cares much about this card in particular.
Yeah,
And I don't think
Yeah.
it's really going to take this either.
And I'm sure-
Outside being again another low rarity memory enabler, I guess the problem is because this is an event, anyone that specifically refers to characters like Nino, this will not apply. So that is
Yeah,
one thing
I-
to keep in mind there.
you know what? If you're trying to set off memory and you're running with like that green memory card that we just saw, right? If you really care about cards like that, I guess this card is good. Only in that capacity.
actually, there's another Paradise System as well. There is a blue one. There's a yellow one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So the yellow one has the exact same clause as the blue one. It's you may tutor for 2 cards, Kazanashima Island only, of course.
Mhm.
You add them to your hand, and then you pick a card from your hand and put it into stock, then shuffle.
Okay,
So
I think the yellow one's actually like really good, right?
Yeah, the yellow one's pretty good.
Yeah, if you were going to play these cards, you probably 100% of the time play the yellow one, I think.
Yeah, yeah. They're both cantrips, but the yellow one is both a cantrip in terms of both stock and hand, versus the blue one, which only cantrips your hand.
Yes, the yellow one essentially goes hand plus stock neutral, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. It goes hand neutral, stock neutral. Stock neutral, because it takes the card from hand and puts it in stock.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it goes neutral in both of those respects. The blue one only goes hand neutral. That's it.
Gotcha. And this one goes hand neutral.
That's it.
And can go hand plus. This one.
True. It can. It just has a different clause of it doesn't require you to eat 3.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know.
At the same time, if I'm playing Paradise System, yellow all the way. I would not play this.
Right.
Yeah, I'm probably with you. I remember when I saw this card first spoiled, I looked at it and was like, aren't there better Paradise
And we found like there is. So let's go ahead into I don't know, Gavin, you have anything about this in regards to limited while you were doing that?
Let's see here. In terms of this, I mean, okay, it's useful. It's somewhat useful and limited. Like, you can't, like, it might be able to help you, but I don't really see this being that useful and limited. In fact, to be honest, Matt, I'd rather brainstorm.
Right, there's the argument that this is a cheap memory enabler in limited, or not cheap, but like easy to find memory enabler in limited. But
yeah, it's a decent memory enabler.
The problem is a fair number of recollection cards are actually checking for characters. Like things
Why
like
wouldn't I just play?
things like Nino, right?
Why wouldn't I just play Nino in this case?
Exactly. There's also the Nino Lilith, which is also a comment. You're probably gonna find more of her over this because for some reason Bushiroad
So
lets him short print events from time to time,
so now
or if
doesn't
not
that
all the
doesn't
time.
say doesn't the Sarah event catch anniversary cards too?
No, the Sarah event only finds newspaper and sports specifically.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it caught anniversary.
No, it was strictly newspaper and sports.
Okay, I was gonna say because if the Sarah event catches anniversary, then it's 100 times. Then it's like an auto play over this, right?
Right, but unfortunately it isn't.
Yeah. I guess in limited, this is okay. I don't know. I don't. My opinion on this is that I don't really have one.
I have no expect to say something like, Imari be praised, Kazanashima has quite the culture, believes in things like funny hacks and sitting out on the beach with your friends.
I'm trying to remember. There's like, I feel like there's a card that like an actual character card that cares about Paradise System.
Even then,
I
why
don't-
would you play this one?
Yeah, it probably because it might be a card that's in this set, maybe. And so like if it's in this set and this is the only
we'll see if we run into it, but still.
yeah. Like yeah, I don't know.
When
Yeah,
I was, when I was a child, I wanted to become a funny hat.
No, go. Memory TV quotes are like some of the best meme templates I've run into on the internet.
Yeah, I think I agree with the one sleeping Doge on this one.
All right.
Okay, so the next two cards here are box topper promos, so limited will no longer apply here.
Mm-hmm.
And as with like the promos from Yellow, these are retreads of the Capo set ones stuff.
Gotcha.
Oh boy. Okay, Tamaki Konomiya, 1/1 4K. Lord Borden has entered the room.
And for we'll go ahead and make a quick comparison to the original. So the original is a level 0 cost 2,000 power. Rest this card to give one of your characters 1k until end of turn.
What's up?
Oh no, I just wanted to compare this and the original.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, the card that I'm looking at here, I think the power is off on this. It looks like it's 500 power. And this
Oh,
is
excuse
4K.
me. That's because I forgot to change that.
Holy man.
Typos be real here.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I was looking at that. I was like, I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, so it's your 2K Borden backup.
Boarding. You can never go too wrong with these.
No, I mean it is the best card in SAO, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, literally one of the best.
Oh man, and this one's at level 1, which makes it the best card in Rewrite also. Because Rewrite has this at level 1. But it's on. At least they made these things 2K now instead of just 1500. Because the original card profile for this effect used to be when it was on level 1 was a 1500 backup. So at least like you get the full 2K out of your one stock. But
Yeah.
I always feel bad paying one stock for a level 1.
I think the biggest problem is more of the Capo Dal Segno decks don't care for this because one, they rather use their stock to enable the memory more than anything else, and two, if you're going to defend something, you're better off playing you just feel better off playing like a cost switch counter.
I feel like and I feel like if you're running events in your deck, this card gets just Terabat after a while.
And some decks are definitely playing events. The Capo Dal Segno definitely has good events to play with.
Yeah, we'll talk about those when we get to blue.
Yeah,
But-
we can see this guy's very exciting.
I'm going, honestly speaking, though, I'd rather play the refundable from yellow.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
So
I feel like this deck has to conserve its
it's stock, right?
its stock a little bit. So yeah.
Too much of a stock crunch. Alrighty. I think it's time for ratings, boys.
I'll give it a miss.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. If you're not really playing events and some people just really like this effect. I have friends that really like this effect.
Like if anything, like a gold bar deck would definitely wouldn't mind this at all.
Oh, I mean, remember the argument. It's the only backup that saves you. So that was the Lord Borden argument. This backup wins you the game because it saves you.
On top of that, hand filter on your opponent's turn. Some decks like a gold bar or something could definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, yeah, especially if you're like, 2 climaxes in hand, you're climax flooded. You get to back up, right before refresh and pitch one of those climaxes.
Right. There's definitely an argument to be made for this.
Sure. That's why I think is niche playable.
Alrighty, yep. I'll extend the niche to our. Normally I'd be far more excited about board encounters, but I'm like, man, this set. The set is pushed when we're like, Borden's not very good.
I think the problem is more of this. It's not that this set is pushed that's making this feel whatever. It's the fact that this title, the way that it wants to play most of the time, can't necessarily afford to do this in the best possible deck.
Yeah, it's lackluster. It's very lackluster.
Right. If this was a non-recollection based title, I think we'd be nicer.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we have one more card here.
The transfer student. Who is this one? Is this me?
Yeah, this is yours.
Yeah.
Transfer student 1/0. If you do not have a green character, you cannot play this card from your hand. Put the top 2 cards of your deck to the waiting room. Choose one level X or lower character in your waiting room and add it to your hand, where X is the sum of levels of cards put to your waiting room this way. So essentially, it's cigarettes, right?
Yeah, and for those who want to know about the original card, it was also a 1/0, by the way. Look at the top card of your stock. If that card's a level 1 or lower character, you may put it onto any slot on the stage.
Really good if you're running some 1/2s.
That means you knew you triggered the 1/2 or you put it into your stock somehow.
Yeah, exactly. Does the
Capo also have 1/2s there, Dick?
I don't know.
No, right?
Not a single one that I would have played. We'll call it at that.
Okay.
I'm sure it's got something somewhere, maybe.
All right.
But just the same, like this version obviously being a lot better than the last version. I can't remember if there's another card that cares about this event. There might be something that Circus salvages.
I'll look up really quick. While you two discussing amongst yourselves.
No, of course. I don't know, man. I typically don't like this style of card. I didn't like it in Albuta. I don't like it now.
I don't hate it when it's when it like. I don't hate it when you can get it into your hand easily. Does that make sense? When you can plus from it.
Yeah.
I don't hate it when it's just sitting there. And again, the problem also is like it's not that selective. It sort of depends on what you mill out. And hey, it's really good if you're trying to mill out your deck, right?
Oh yeah, it's great.
Like if you're playing a deck that doesn't have much mill power and you have the ability to fit this in, but I don't know where I would fit this in.
Yeah, unfortunately, there is no card that refers to this in any way, so there's no benefit there.
Well, yeah, like if I'm all right. Follow me on this one, and again, this is just me being old and playing old decks that aren't that good. I don't think this card belongs in the Magic deck. I don't think this card belongs in the Anniversary deck. This card could find its spot if it really wanted to. It has to be. You need a green card, right? But this card could find its way into the Music deck. But there's a better version of this card for the Music deck. That's also bondable. So like there's essentially a Goblin Slayer torch backup in Music.
Okay.
For Music. and music is more than monocolored, right? It's green, blue usually. So I don't think this. It's a cool card. It doesn't have a fit in the set. I don't think. Like, to me, I just don't think that there's a good fit for this. Again, if you're playing like a waifu deck or something, sure, she's right there.
Who should be the character on this? I don't know if I even recognize her.
Is that one? Is that Yume?
I think that might be Yume, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's Yume. Like I said, there are some cards that, hey man, if Yume is your waifu, man, there are some really fun Yume waifu cards in this set. This is probably
some great ones.
This is probably one of them.
Like for example, if I had a combo that could grab this event, like Grisaia just does nothing but spam this all day.
Yeah, it's funny enough. I built when I first built Grisaia, I used that particular combo because I thought the dumb theory on that one for me was it's defendable, and I can find this in either my salvage or my search, just like Goblin Slayer, and Goblin Slayer was nuts at the time, so sure.
So literally, again,
I just don't think this card sees play. I don't think this card ever sees play.
I don't think so either, because honestly speaking,
it's unfortunate because like some retrains have definitely been very, very nice. Memory, Erased Memory was a very, very good retrain, but it's just kind of like sad to see like these other retrains like be pretty lackluster.
Yeah, I don't
like no, what's funny is like if it was like a combo or something that gets interacted with, that would have been nice, but there isn't.
Or there's a if it's bondable, then it might be worth playing, right?
I think the problem was there is kind of like running out of ideas. I feel with these box topper retrains.
For sure. And what's cool about it though is it does grab any trait. So if you're running a deck that's like a bunch of old cards, and back in the day, you would have to do this, right? You would have to run a bunch of cards and multiple traits. Traits were all over the place back then, which is why Ash from King of Fighters was a decent card, right? Traits and Haruhi had cards that cared and things like that. So traits were all over the place. So if you're running a really old Da Capo deck, if you were an old Da Capo player that still plays tabletop Weiss, right? And wants a good card that costs them probably $1, right? Because I can't imagine even as a box topper this card being expensive. Maybe I'm wrong.
Price checking.
Let's go ahead and fact check.
but yeah, like if you want like a good if you need to hit multiple traits, this card is good for that, right? Because it doesn't care about your traits.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, to me, that's the only thing that saves this card.
It's $3, by the way.
Okay, so for $12, you added you spent $12 to make your old Da Capo deck that's been collecting dust, like that you want to play against your friend's old Little Busters deck that's been collecting dust that probably still has rest in it.
No. Starduster, they were collecting dust. Rip. It's funny because literally like a month ago or something, on Twitter, I see Freedom Duel of all people. You might know him as like a very, very big name transfer of Bushiro cards like other card games, and he just randomly like shows a picture. I think there's like no description on it. Just like shows a picture of his Starduster deck.
Oh yeah, I have a Starduster deck.
The fuck? Why is it showing a Starduster deck?
I have a legal Starduster deck. Yeah, I have a very legal, very playable one, and by very playable I mean not playable, but I pretend it is. I have a binder full of banned cards. I have a binder that's got
I'll play it this way. If you ever decide to like do it. You would probably you'd be one of the first people I would think of who would do a Weiss Schwarz progression series.
Oh man, if I had the time and the brain power for it, I don't think I'm very good at evaluating a lot of things like that. Sometimes, like I've been playing for a long time, and I have sets from way back. I don't blame you.
I think the biggest problem is a lot of people who are playing this game currently. A lot of them came in like in the later 2010s.
Yeah,
So,
for sure, for sure.
they're just like Stardust. They're newspaper. What language are y'all speaking?
Right? Right? No, I have a binder that I like have, like I said, like I have a binder with Akinaris in it. I have a binder with
Oh
rests in it.
no.
It used to have Cordelia's Gardens in it, but now two of those are back in my deck, so it only has two Cordelia's Gardens in it.
Right,
Like,
right.
you know, it,
One game, like I believe in this full unrestriction. But anyway,
and
transfer through here. I don't know if we're saving this.
I
No.
I will call it, and again, this is me being as nice as I've probably been today. I will call this niche playable for people running really old Da Capo decks with like a lot
Okay,
of trades.
Mike being the senior friendly person here,
I'm old.
or as Guy would call it, Cambrian era friendly.
Yeah, what to say, man? He's definitely Cambrian era friendly. I'm like, as somebody who came in during the First World War. Oh
Oh yeah,
man.
no. Wait, Mike. Have we told you the? Have we ever told you about the equivalating the human timeline to Weiss Schwarz's life?
Oh no, I haven't heard it yet,
Okay,
but
after we finish here, we'll copy paste it to you.
that's fair. I do have
Um,
two. I
Oh,
do have two full binder pages of emo swing though.
oh no. I don't.
this is
I think we've gone too far. Anyway, um.
this is my only comment. A worn out shoe is my only comment.
That's what I say to you.
The only thing that this transfer student deserves is a shoe from a Japanese student. Oh no.
Uh,
Okay,
Yeah,
so anyway,
I get it.
Anyway, so
all right. So any lasting comments about Green Gentlemen?
Bring off opens up the door to quite the number of possibilities.
Yeah,
Overall.
I think green. I think green is a very, very strong color in this set. I think if you're not going with, I think if you're going with the anniversary build, if you're going with the one of the magic builds, or because you got two magic level 1 combos in there that are, I think, pretty rad. Or you know, the DS build, or not the DS, the DC4 build. I think you're probably playing green, unless you're, like I said, unless you're running the red yellow anniversary and or red yellow magic.
Right.
And there's even a couple niche cards for like music and such in there.
Oh yeah,
Which there are
definitely.
more.
I do like what Grey has offered to the Capo and Dal Segno.
Yeah, I think it's a really solid color.
Overall, yeah.
But I can't argue that any of the colors are bad in this set. I
All
think
right,
they're all.
yeah, we will find this. We'll find this repeating into red and blue for sure.
Absolutely.
Set OP.
I hope, yeah. So I guess with that, we're gonna go ahead and end things off here. So if you like this video, definitely give a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, ring that notification bell because
These all help the YouTube algorithm. I'll catch everybody on red. Mike, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Definitely looking forward to doing this. Finishing this off with you. So definitely looking forward to this. Really love your energy here. Really love your insights as an actual Da Capo player. I only have secondhand experience, and Gavin here is like pretty much knows nothing really before. Well, he knows a bit of Dal Segno maybe, but
Oh, maybe next time we'll talk about my old Himari bomb deck from
oh boy, fun stuff.
Yeah,
Let's
pitch a card, burn 5.
Let's go.
All right. So we will catch you all next time. Bye.